Hello, hello. See people trickling in. So we'll get started very soon. Okay, let's try switching over, see how it goes. Give the preview a moment. There we go. Wonder why it's still asking me about my audio language. It has me really concerned when it asks me that on load. Oh, that intro though. I was gonna say, don't scare me like that game. Asking me the language setting after we've already saved. Yeah, I think it's because you can't switch the audio once you've started a game. Like if you go into the options, you can't change it mid-game. I don't think Berseria has that issue because it's a more recent release. But then weirdly, they didn't retroactively fix that for the, what was it, Tales of Zestiria on Steam. It still asks you the same thing. Strange, strange, strange. I don't know if that qualifies as an Oh Zestiria moment. We'll see how it goes. One moment. To disable that before we continue. Okay, now we're good to go. Hello, Steve. How's it going? Apparently Zombie Steve, excuse me. So let's talk to Mikleo. What's done is done, so don't worry about it. More importantly, you've been zonked out for 3 days, so I'm guessing you're still a little groggy. It's true, we did pass out from the last time we played, and we're being worshipped. It didn't take very long.
There's almost no one out. I guess it's still pretty early in the morning. You alright?
I just felt strange all of a sudden, like a weird pressure was crushing down on my chest.
What?
You can sense it already? What you're feeling is the malevolence all around us. Now that you've become my vessel, you can sense it. This is proof that your body has already grown accustomed to my power.
You don't say. You mean there's really that much malevolence out there, even beyond the city?
Indeed, and this is only a taste. As people start to crowd the streets, you'll feel it even more. Come this way.
So now the kind of pretty looking city has kind of a cloudy sky at the moment, and we could see little specks of darkness just kind of floating up from the earth itself. So, you know, just a very normal time. Oh, look, chat, I got denied a different way. I got the controller can't go here. We'll follow her for now, since we can't go back to the inn. To see her little walking animation. Man, she walks really slow. I disapprove of this walk speed. Author's note: if you have chest pains, it's not malevolence. That's Steve.
Oh man, what a gorgeous lake!
She does not have the Gujian 3 following mechanic.
Is. But amidst the spectacular scenery, the town of Lady Lake is being corrupted by malevolence.
Yeah, now that I can sense it, I can feel the corruption everywhere. We can't let this go on.
It isn't just happening here in Lady Lake either. It's eating away at the entire world. The scenery may be splendid, but you can feel that this place lacks the blessing of the Seraphim, can you not?
Yeah. In Elysia, I could always feel Gramps' blessing. But here, nothing.
But Lila, This little walk of yours isn't just to reconfirm the situation in Lady Lake with us, is it?
You've got something to tell us.
Yes, I touched on it before, but now I must clarify to you the true purpose of the Shepherd. The Shepherds can quell the Hellions, beings who bring chaos to humans and Seraphim alike, with the power of purification. That is the power of the Shepherd. However, that in and of itself is not the Shepherd's duty. What the Shepherd must quell is the source of all malevolence, the being who gives rise to the Hellions. The Lord of Calamity.
The Lord of Calamity?
Yes, this figure has been known by this name for countless centuries. Whenever Hellions run rampant, this figure is always there. A Lord of Calamity, who begets Hellions with the overwhelming amount of malevolence he possesses. Given enough time, a Lord of Calamity can even permanently alter the world itself. Such is the calamity he brings.
Wait. If I remember correctly, the Celestial Record said that a shepherd hasn't appeared for the last 200 years.
And 200 years ago, there are records that the world was overcome by an unprecedented calamity. Could there be a connection?
I understand. So, the Lord of Calamity is the source of all the malevolence, and it's the duty of the shepherd to find and put a stop to him.
That's all well and good, but where is this guy?
For now, it is enough so long as you understand the duty of the Shepherd.
Huh?
The answers you seek are those you must discover for yourself, Saray. Answers of your own that you will not regret. Stay true to yourself. Forget not your duty, but be not a slave to it either.
Answers of my own.
And to that end, Saray, I know you want to ask about the effects the Lord of Calamity has on this world, and how Earth Dwellers and Seraphim go about their lives, but I want you to discern these for yourself.
It's true that I'm completely clueless when it comes to just about everything in the world.
I want you to travel the world and discover all sorts of things. Only then can you take the answers you have found for yourself and make a stand against the Lord of Calamity.
It's not that tricky a concept. Pretty much boils down to, hey Saray, let's take a trip around the world.
Yes.
Got it. Anyhow, can we start by investigating some food? Talk about calamity. I'm gonna pass out.
Shall we head back to the inn? I don't want to have to carry our shepherd around.
Sure.
By the way, she'll just pop in and out of her body from now on. But we'll talk to the little girl, since she has the I want to talk bubble above her head. And now she no longer wants to talk to us. What do you have to say about this, Mikleo? Okay, so he's saying that we shouldn't stuff our face, apparently. I'm not counting this towards the tutorial. I just wanted to remind the chat that during the cutscene, I felt like it was very prominently there. So we have a couple of things to digest. They're alluding to something about the new character that will become the big reason why I don't like this character who joined us, but it hasn't quite happened yet. It hasn't quite worked up to an Zestiria moment. So she's saying that she's alluding to the fact that she knows a lot more than she's willing to tell us, and it's going to get a lot more annoying as it goes on, especially as you go forward with the plot. And the fact that she knows a lot of these things and will just simply not tell us. There's a story reason she doesn't tell us, which it'll get into much later on, but right now she's like passable as a character. But I have a feeling by the end of the stream she's going to be getting a few Zestiria moments.
You know, I've always wanted to travel the world. But I never imagined it'd be so important. It's kind of weird, but I can't say I'm not excited.
I think it's safe to say you're probably the most, sheltered shepherd in history.
You really think so? Hey, Lila, what kind of people were the other shepherds?
Huh? Oh, sorry. I missed what you said.
So, what were the other shepherds like?
I missed what you said.
Lila?
Yes?
Hiding something?
Oh my, isn't this lovely weather?
Looks like she doesn't want to talk.
Can I ask why you won't answer?
I have forged an oath with myself. So long as I uphold that oath, I may wield certain extraordinary powers. However, the terms of the oath also prohibit things.
So wait, does that mean there are certain things you can't discuss?
By powers, I assume you mean the power of purification?
Oh wow, look at the pretty butterfly.
You're kind of bad at this, aren't you?
Does it really matter? We're traveling the world to find these answers anyway, after all.
So we need to go investigate each land's shepherd myths?
Yes, yes, yes! That's 1000% correct!
Can other seraphim besides you wield the power of purification?
We should get back before Saray collapses from hunger and we have to sneak his body through the back alleys. We'd better get going. Chop chop, no time to waste. The food is probably ice cold by now.
Let's get going.
So welcome to her ultra annoying gimmick. Get ready for every skit to do that, chat. Get ready. She is my least liked character for a reason. I kid you not, I will only count that as one. It was very tempting to press that button multiple times to increment. But she will do this every single skit. I'm not kidding. I feel like there is maybe out of 100 skits, maybe 10 or 15 where they don't directly ask her a question and results in that. It's so annoying. So, don't worry, chat. It will catch up to the tutorial counter at some point. She'll help get us there all the way. I just feel like they gave a story reason she doesn't want to do it, and they don't want to, like, quote unquote give the plot away, but at the same time I'm like, why even have that as a gimmick? I personally, I don't understand it. I don't appreciate it either, because it's like, hey, this character could resolve like literally 80% of the game's plot and therefore stop certain things happening before they do, but she just gonna choose not to because it's just how the way her oath works, I guess, even though later on that isn't really upheld, and I think the writers forget about that somehow. Not kidding. Somehow they forget about it. True story, chat. But anyway, we're just gonna talk to some of the NPCs here. I think Zestiria is having issues with the town. I'm noticing a little bit of a frame rate drop. It's not my computer. I think it just can't handle the malevolence. Because I don't think we had any issues on the previous stream, and I haven't changed anything, so I now think you're experiencing the true Zestiria-ness of the game. So I remember playing this on the PS3, and it would also just frame rate drop for no reason all the time. Classic Zestiria. There should be a look at the pretty butterflies. I mean, I could retroactively do it, chat, if you want. She won't say it won't be a butterfly every time, but it will be something. So it's up to you, chat. Do you want me to keep track of it? Because I could very easily do that post-stream. For the moment, my catch-all is the O Zestiria. So the stores are still not open. So since nothing's really open, let's just progress the plot. I suppose we'll save again since we're literally right here.
Welcome back, kind shepherd. Your meal is waiting for you.
Thanks a bunch. All right, let's eat. Phew, That was good. It really hit the spot.
You ate like a champ.
It was delicious. You sure you don't want me to pay for it?
Of course I am.
Thanks so much, sir.
Oh, I have something for you. A gift arrived from Lady Alicia.
Huh? What could it be? Huh. It's a letter. My sword. Bags and... clothes?
Ah, perfect timing. Go get changed, you kind of smell.
All right, then.
Oh my!
Not bad.
How about it?
It looks fantastic on you, Lord Shepherd.
It really does. So dashing.
Oh, man. I want one.
It's the garb of the shepherd handed down from tradition in Lady Lake. You wear it well.
So you can put lipstick on a pig.
Just admit it, Mickleo. You're jealous.
Yeah, you wish. So what's the letter all about?
Well, let's see. Dear Saray, I was surprised that you fainted so suddenly. I hope your rest at the end was rejuvenating.
When I learned that you can communicate with Seraphim, beings of divine nature who cannot be seen by ordinary people. When I saw you draw the sacred blade from the Lady of the Lake and quell the riot at the festival before my eyes. My heart leapt with joy, the likes of which I've never known. The only thing I can think of to tell you is a sincere, heartfelt thanks. I hope you do not find this strange. Though I do think that my true feelings do not come across well in a letter. I know that, as the shepherd, you are soon to embark on a journey to save the world. But once you are awake, I would like you to come and visit me at my home. P.S. Did you have a chance to try on the clothes I got for you? They're modeled after the traditional garb of the legendary shepherd. I hope they are to your liking.
My, what a kind-hearted young woman.
Yeah, seriously. I should be the one who's thanking her.
Why not do it in person, then?
Good idea. Let's move.
Okay. I think that audio
Come back and see
balancing
us again, kind shepherd.
You bet I will.
deserves an Zestiria. Seriously, I don't know what is going on with the sound balance in this game. It's like it's so all over the place. It makes no sense, chat. Like, I guess I will try to lower it more. Because I feel like the background music is where it should be, and it feels weird to put it lower. But whenever they talk, sometimes she got completely drowned out by that music. I don't know if chat felt the same. Like, she was just way quieter in that cutscene.
Man, these clothes offer more mobility than I thought.
They look purely ceremonial at first glance, but it turns out they're practical.
Quite so. Perfect for the journey we're about to undertake.
This outfit is practical? How? Chat, I strongly disagree with what that skit is trying to push on us. Are you just talking about his belt? Like, what about the rest of his outfit is practical? Oh, there's a fuse option. Oh, well, chat, we were due. We were due, chat. By fusing together two equipable items of the same name, not only will you strengthen equipment, but you will enhance or change their skills. By switching to new skills using fusion, you can activate any bonus skill you desire. So, basically the gimmick of it is that, sort of like Berseria, we're going to be getting a lot of equipment, and we want to move together at a lot of skills in order to potentially fill up the skill board. But unlike Berseria, if you stack the wrong skills, we could completely undo all of our characters' work. What a great system, Zestiria. Yeah, like, this is how convoluted it is. Like, you, like, absolutely under no circumstance should you go to buy goods if you care at all about your skill stack, and you should instead look at your weapon and see what every single individual item does, if you care about the stack. We're gonna choose not to care about the stack because it is ultra obnoxious in this game. How hard it is to optimize gear. It makes no sense, chat. So they're introducing another mechanic that the more we shop, the better they get. I'm not sure when they introduced that mechanic. I'm trying to think about it. I know it was in, like, Zestiria, for example, I'm pretty sure. Zestiria, it was definitely in there, but that was after this game. I don't think it was in the older Tales games, like Tales of Destiny or Tales of Eternia. Not that I recall. Oh, the concerned lover standard NPC dialogue. So nobody's really giving us like future plot
It looks
points.
like all the hype from the festival settled down.
But now everyone's talking about the shepherd.
Yeah, other than the voiceovers there, we're not really getting more information about where we are. Like, we're hearing things from the general shout in the bottom left, but when we talk to these people, we're not getting more context for anything. So they're saying something called the Grifflet Bridge is down. Maybe that was the name of the bridge we saw earlier when we ventured beyond where we're supposed to, chat. Oh, speaking of which, what does Mikleo have to say about this situation? So Mikleo saying, then we go visit her and show her how good you look. She really was scared for you back there. Okay, so we're gonna thank her for the gifts, I suppose. Galahad ruins, somebody was injured. I've played through the game, but I only vaguely recall the names of places. But we could see that we're still in kind of the dark malevolence phase of this particular town. So now we're getting introduced to the concept of an archbishop, and he's afraid to oppose royalty. And since the princess is declaring us shepherd, maybe he can't go against her, I think is our takeaway from that conversation. Also, previously, I wanted to mention before, they said 200 years ago was the last shepherd. So in theory, Berseria could have been that last one, but there's been more than one shepherd. So it could have been even further back. I'm not 100% certain of the time difference between the two, but we're going to say at least 200 years. So none of the human characters from Berseria will be returning. Sorry, chat, for those that like the human characters in Berseria.
Ah, the shepherd. Have you need of Lord Alicia? She's on the terrace as we speak.
Thanks, I'll see if I can find her.
Again, I find it interesting when it does the little camera zooms. I don't think Berseria did that so much, but I feel like in this game it generally works. So it kind of hides the load screen a bit better.
Sarai, you came.
Alicia,
The shepherd's garb looks wonderful on you.
thanks.
Some fine lipstick on that pig.
Yes, Mikleo, we all know your opinion.
What? Pigs are nice.
I take it there's a seraph present with you?
If I told you there was, would you believe me?
To be honest, up until the events that took place at the Sacred Blade Festival this year, I wouldn't have. But even from the moment we met, I could tell... how can I put it? There was something different about you.
Well, she's right, you know.
Right here is a seraph. His name is Mikleo.
Please, find it in your grace to forgive my rudeness up until now, Seraph Mikleo.
Rudeness? You've never struck me as rude.
He says you've never done anything to offend him. And this here is Lila. She's the one everyone calls the Lady of the Lake.
I truly believe in my heart that you were meant to become the shepherd. Whereas I mean all of us here in the city, can be standing right next to Seraphim and still not know.
That's not quite true.
She can't hear you.
Saray, try taking Alicia's hand in your own.
Huh? Oh, sure. Alicia, give me your hand. Like this?
Testing, testing. Check 1, check 2. Can you hear me? Hello?
Doesn't look like it.
Okay then. Saray, try closing your eyes. Testing, testing. Alicia, can you hear me now?
It's still no good.
This time, close your eyes and also hold your breath. Alicia?
I can hear it, another woman's voice.
Really?
Alicia, we Seraphim are able to see right into the very hearts of humans. Remember to show gratitude to all things. It is in exchange for this gratitude that we offer our blessing. No matter the circumstances, never neglect the Seraphim, or your heart shall turn to malevolence, and this in turn shall bring calamity.
Fear not, Alicia. We have indeed seen your gratitude for ourselves.
Saray, one more time.
Isn't there a better way to do this?
I'm afraid this is the only method we have for now. Once you've grown more accustomed to my power and have amassed more experience as both a vessel and a shepherd, I believe such a strict sensory block will not be required.
So, does that mean once I do grow stronger as a shepherd, everyone will be able to hear the Seraphim?
As for Alicia, she already possessed a natural resonance from birth, though nowhere near as much as you, Saray.
I see. Looks like it's not that simple.
Regardless, I was able to have a conversation with her. I now have no doubts that the Seraphim do indeed live among us. And that alone.
Gets you excited?
Yes!
The legends are no mere fairy tales. Okay! Alicia, we're going to stay in town for a while yet.
Chad enjoys that communication
Let me know if you
method.
need anything. Take care!
I will. You too.
Saray?
Looks like our explorer's all fired up.
So I feel like I'm getting a little bit of mixed messages from the game. So the first session we went through, they definitely said Alicia couldn't see anybody, and she didn't seem to have resonance. But now they're saying a little later on that now she does have the gift of resonance. I don't think I'm misremembering this. They clearly stated she doesn't have the resonance. So we have different conversations we can have. So we have to talk to the townspeople to advance the plot.
Relax, those ruins aren't going anywhere.
I got cutscene so hard, chat.
How did you know what I was thinking about, Mikleo?
Didn't I tell you I wasn't gonna let you go off by yourself? So what's the plan?
Let's have another look around town. There's gotta be a clue around here somewhere.
Okay.
So now we are in kind of the semi-free exploration mode where we need to find the plot person in order to continue. I just want to double check that there's no people here. I'm trying to remember which button they use for the map in this game. It is different every game. Okay, it's that button. The back trigger button. Okay, so they're just talking about the bridge we already know is down. As I said before, as we go throughout the game, we'll be respawning the herbs to some extent, so we already gathered everything here, so we don't really have a reason to linger any further. Well, fortunately the game will at least point us out which person we should be talking to, but we'll talk to a few other people. So we just saw very briefly in the bottom left that the Chancellor's trying to send the princess away, but I'm pretty sure he's trying to send her to the place that she can't go, because I believe we just heard that the bridge is down that goes to the kingdom, so that's kind of strange. And now we heard, is it true there's a ruin underneath the city? Okay, that sounds a bit more relevant to us. Now we bump into Rose for the third time? So now he's saying, bet you kind of regret selling that knife to us. Rose says it's pretty high quality. We were worrying you might have done it by mistake. So there's got to be certain conditions. If you do us a favor, we'll give you the knife back. Well, chat, we have 3 different jobs, so I guess we could I forget if we need to do all of them offhand. Zestiria had a similar moment where you did have to do all the jobs, but this one I'm not so certain about. So, So we can help distribute merchandise to the weapon shop, deliver a work order to the attendant at the Waterway, which I think will put us closer to the plot, or check out a food menu at the inn and report it back. I guess I'll do the one that seems the least plot related, just to see what happens. So we'll accept that for now. This one seems the most straightforward of the 3, I suppose. Plus, we also get to see if we have to do all requests or not, so I don't want to think about it too long. Alright, so there's ruins to the north. Supposedly there's ruins underneath the city. Still our old menus in the box if you'd like to take a look. Sure, we could take a look. Oh wait, which box? Oh, this box. Oh no, I got trapped by Mikleo. Mikleo, out of the way. There we go, I had to phase through him. I'm not sure if we have to memorize this or not. So let's see. Salmon, Doria, pot, cabbage, miso. Chat, you're gonna have to help me with this in case we do have to memorize this. Hopefully we don't. So they're saying ingredients are hard to get. The innkeeper's talking about the country's put heavy restrictions on food distribution, but thanks to the sparrow feathers, we can at least get the bare minimum of what we need. So we might as well return to them for now. So that was easy enough for quest. I love the people slowly loading in. Unfortunately, the rumors in the bottom left seem to be repeating again. Oh, we do have to remember it. So we have 2 salmon ones, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't roe. So we're going to say salmon rice ball. Doria was definitely one of them. Chad is helping me out. They said the pot was one of them. Cabbage and miso. So we passed the test, chat. Oh, we only had to do 1 for the quest. Wait, whoa, chat. Did you see that? She went to hand the knife to us, and then, like, the knife was still in her hand when she was putting it away. Did you see that, chat? I saw that. Okay, so we chose the one that probably required the least amount of walking, because the weapon shop was even further than the inn, so I think we did the best one. So we received the royal knife again. So the sparrow feathers wish us well. Now I just want to double check. I think we did that tutorial already. But in here, we were denied a few chances to look around because people were in here last time. Oh, there's a silver chest. I thought I saw a treasure chest when we were in the ceremony. And I wanted to touch this save point. Oh, speaking of which, there's a skit.
Good thing the armor shop had both a ceremonial sword and staff. Also, there's something I kinda wanted to ask you.
Yeah, I know. You want to ask if this staff looks like it's floating in midair to humans. Is that it?
How do you know?
One look in your eyes says it all. Even if it's an item that humans can see, when Seraphim infuse mana into it, it will become unrecognizable by humans. The opposite is true as well. Anything made by a Seraph can be recognized by humans if mana gets infused in that item. Although, it's kind of a rare ability.
So Gramps' pipe is like that.
Quite perceptive of you.
In fact, Gramps told you everything you just told me, didn't he?
That's also quite perceptive of you.
So one thing I was never quite certain about, and I don't remember if either game really addresses this, since people can't see the Seraphim, will they just like trip over them if they happen to be sleeping, like where somebody's walking? These are things I think about while playing these kinds of games. I mean, like, they can't be seen, but I think they should still be felt, right, chat? What do you think? So we got one skit out of the way. I think I missed a skit because I didn't pay attention to one of the other save points. But such is the way of Tales of Zestiria. This game has a lot of skits that are very easy to miss. So apparently, the longer we just run around in circles, the more snacks get prepared. So it's kind of weird that I think this is one of the few games where you have a cooking mechanic, but you can't actually do anything with it. Like, when it was first introduced into, I think it was Tales of Destiny that did it, or possibly the game before that, Fantasia might have had it as well. But in Tales of Destiny, you at least would prepare ingredients, and as you walked around, you recovered health. That's how the cooking applied into that game. But in this one, it just happens passively, and we don't really get to choose what they make, which is kind of an odd decision. Oh, chat, we're getting a tutorial on how to use the inn. Some skits are triggered at the inns. Read, like, a good 30% of the skits are triggered at inns. Visit inns constantly. So, oh, I forgot this was also a thing. So our companions can cook meals, but I forgot we could still purchase meals. The whole party being below 80% is kind of rough. We'll just go for the grilled sweet fish, because that's more likely to happen with the AI. Oh no, is below 80%. I was thinking they took 80% damage. Oh, this one's a better choice then.
Oh man, this is the best food I've had in ages.
Yeah, a quality inn and a quality restaurant, all in one. Smart combination there. I have a feeling we're gonna be regular customers.
Mikleo, do you eat?
Ha! Sometimes he even breathes.
What she means is, Seraphim don't actually have to eat to survive.
What? But you, Gramps, everyone back in Elysia ate food all the time.
Gramps said that it was because we wanted you to experience life like a human.
Oh. I didn't know.
But even without that, I eat because food tastes good.
Seraphim still have all the same taste buds as humans. Many of us wind up enjoying food simply for the rich sensory experience. Especially those who are close to humans.
How about you, Lila?
I used to, long ago.
Then why don't you eat with us?
Yeah, that sounds great. After all, we've got a long journey ahead of us.
Very well. If you don't mind, I'd be happy to join you.
So we have the sleeping at the inn jingle, which is better than the Berseria one. I feel like Berseria's inn jingle kind of sucked. So since we purchased a food item, we've taken the innkeeper from half star to 1 star. And that unlocked another food item. So I believe this is the one that we unlocked. So when someone's health is below 60%, we restore 30%. Well, we might as well just do it.
Boy, it feels like forever
Yeah.
since we left Elysia.
What? You want to go back already?
You see how sneaky
No
that is,
way.
chat?
Our journey's just starting.
Pick one, will you?
Did the two of you come from Elysia?
Yep, that's our hometown.
Oh, you know it? It's a village of Seraphim at the top of a mountain.
I do.
It's a swell place. I'll show it to you sometime.
So you do want to go home.
I do not. Though I do think we have some things we might want to explain to Gramps.
Hope you're ready for the thundering of your life.
Huh, of my death more likely.
The twists of fate are strange indeed.
So chat, Zestiria loves to hide a lot of skits at inns. So unfortunately, if we want to see more content of the game, we just have to keep eating food until the game stops giving us a skit. Oh, okay, there we go. It was only 2 this time. I think the most I've ever gotten in the game was 3 in a row. We'll set it back to just generic party healing. So we've taken them to a 2-star already with us and unlocked more dishes. Unfortunately, I don't really think it's worth grinding up these stores whatsoever. Oh, hold on, chat, there's another skit.
So, I really am a shepherd now.
But going up against the source of all malevolence, this Lord of Calamity, that's a huge responsibility to take on all at once.
You sound like you just heard about it. Didn't you talk to Lila at all while I was zonked out?
Nope.
I tried to bring it up, but he insisted on waiting until you woke up. He spent the whole time with his nose in his books instead.
What? Why?
It was more efficient for Lila this way, that's all.
But still, you sat around reading for 3 days straight? You could have gone out to explore the city some more.
What does it matter? I was worn out from the battle anyway, and I just had stuff I wanted to read, okay?
It's okay. You've always been this way. Like when I got hurt and couldn't go exploring for 2 weeks. You waited the whole time rather than go without me.
You're so conscientious, Mikleo.
Yeah, it's really okay. I wouldn't mind if you went and had a little fun of your own.
Seriously, I'm fine. They were good books, and I wanted to read them. Sheesh.
I know.
Poor Mikleo. So another thing is I'm not sure how locked the skits are to save points. I don't know if every save point can do it. Like, we had a skit when we were in the sanctuary, but we didn't get that skit. We had to go to the inn. But I'm not sure if it's just because we went to the inn that we now got the other skit. There's layers of skits, Chad, is what I'm trying to get at. There are... I'm not even sure. We'll see at some point a total count. I would say it's safe to assume over 200, maybe 300, close to 400. So again, in terms of characters, I probably like Mikleo second best of all the characters. We haven't seen the character that I like the most so far, but we'll be getting that character hopefully in this stream session. It makes Lila a lot more tolerable. So I'm just going to revisit the save point here just to re-verify something. Also, chat, I can't walk through this banner. I wanted you to know this, chat. Like, it won't let me. Okay, so nothing is reset here, so we might as well just leave. But we'll talk to this person before we go. Hello, Father. Let me apologize for my son causing mischief. I gave him a good scolding. We're all square. Nope, and he has no response. I don't feel like a lot of what the townspeople say really come up again later. Like, unless they very directly state a location in green or something like that, I feel like the townspeople don't really evolve over time, which is a bit disappointing. Like, compare it to Zestiria, where random people that were talking about, like, their loved ones or whatever actually would then turn into, like, full-blown skits. And or had plot relevance later and added a lot of flavor text to things as we went along. This game doesn't really have that. Like, pretty much once we're done with this stream session, I don't think we're gonna come back here for a very long time. Like, once we actually leave here and a certain event happens within the Noble building over there, we will basically not see this place for another 40 something hours. So I don't see anything there. Maybe it wants us to go to the waterway. So let's go to outside the aqueduct. So we know that there's ruins underneath the city, so people might have been suspecting that we probably have to get into the sewers somehow. And it would be a pretty good assumption. Because we already talked about, for example, how ancient the aqueducts looked. So if we were thinking there were possibly ruins to explore, maybe we should start there. So we should get a little, not tutorial, well hopefully not a tutorial, but we should get a little skit as we get closer here. Oh, hello.
There's. Now I've grasped this areas quite well.
Watch it. There's someone suspicious afoot.
Is it a turtle, Hellion?
The hell's you mean, Turtles, Hellion? I'm just a Turtles.
Turtles? So wait a minute. Are they Seraphim?
Turtles are turtles. Can't you tell from looking at us?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, brave new world that has such turtles in it.
Ain't yous ever seen a turtles before?
No.
What are you, some bumpkins? Well, lucky for yous guys, we turtles are a forgiving bunch.
Well, thank you.
You guys sure are kind.
Of course! The big-heartedness of the turtles is proportional to the size of our shells.
And what were you doing here?
I'm making maps for our purposes.
Oh, maps!
Come to think of it, we don't have any decent maps. The one in the Celestial Record is quite old.
Yous guys sure are reckless. Says, can I sells you some of my maps? They're chock full of useful informations.
Thanks. It's a big help.
Thank yous. I'm darn pleased that you bought my maps.
So we bought a map of adventure from the turtles, says the description. These maps will add more geographical information to your world map. Since they're written from a turtle's point of view, there may be some discrepancies, but you should be able to roughly locate new places you haven't visited yet. If you're ever lost, track down a turtles in the nearest town and try purchasing their map. So this was a pretty big mechanic that I first recall coming up in Symphonia, where there was kind of like the map sellers. They have a very different purpose in Berseria, but this is kind of like a holdover of that Age of Tales games. So we can see there's a little blue circle in front of us, which is a weird way of indicating. Yeah, what does it say that this is? That's very strange. When we check out the icon guide chat, that blue circle is not on the icon guide. Oops. Oops. Is that supposed to be a star icon? Did they forget? I mean, that's where we have to go for plot reasons, but I'll talk to these people again. Is the water in the lake beginning to bubble? Yeah, I think they forgot it, honestly. Yeah, I think that's worth an O Zestiria. They definitely forgot something here. Either they forgot it on the icon guide, or they just literally forgot to put the star there. One of the above is true.
An underground waterway. Sounds worth looking into.
So one of them hasn't returned yet. Wonder if he's okay.
It's like a labyrinth down there. So the Chancellor doesn't like it when people go in there. People say there's a set of doors in the waterway imprinted with the royal crest. Very suspicious. So some people are saying they see shadows, a kind of looming shapeless form. What do you think they saw in the waterway, chat? They're still talking about the... I mean, it's been 3 days since the festival. Oh, they're doing my favorite Berseria animation. I didn't realize they did it in this game, where they're kind of playing patty cake, but this time he's doing it with the wall. We saw that earlier in Berseria with the farmers, where they were like petting the plants. Oh, that's my favorite animation. Hi, Mikleo. What do you have to say about this conversation? So he's thinking... He's worried about the worker that went missing. So one thing that I think is kind of interesting between the two games when you kind of play them back to back is that the language that they use to describe key components of the game, I feel like have swapped between games. Like, they don't really call people Seraphim, for example. Right? Think about in Berseria, they usually talk about like the Molochs and things like that. That they switch terms for things describing them. I feel like Hellion did come up in Berseria, but I don't feel like that was the primary word they used to describe the monsters.
Are you going?
Yeah, I'm worried about anyone who isn't coming back.
Saray.
So let's venture forth into the waterway.
You can feel it, can't you?
I can. There's definitely strong malevolence coming from the center of town.
I must say, your ability is indeed impeccable. It looks like you're acclimating to your power already, far faster than I'd even imagined.
I am?
The day when you will come into the true power of the Shepherd is not far off.
What kind of power is that?
Oh, sorry about that. You were saying?
We'll find out soon enough.
Yep.
For you, chat, I will not count that, but retroactively, I will go add that to the count of how many times she dodges questions. Some of those are painful, chat. They're just painful. Now the question is, chat, for making the count, is it every single instance that she does it, or just per scene? Should I count it? Like, for example, when she did it, like, I think it was 3 times in a row, the first time the gimmick was introduced. Do I count that as 3, or is that just 1? I'm gonna let chat be the arbiter.
It's a Hellion! Get back!
No way. I'm helping too.
I told you, Lila and I have this. Get back! Would the person inside be okay if we hit them?
Slimes can soften physical attacks with their...
Oops. Not what I wanted to do.
bodies.
Does that mean it's harder to defeat them?
No, I just meant that the person inside should be fine.
Well, there's some good news.
This is my path! Here goes!
Let's get him! No escape! How's this?
Flames of Crimson!
Ready? Yeah!
Flames of Crimson!
Thank you, Porks and Potatoes, for kicking in.
White heat!
So you'll notice that Mikleo isn't able to join us in this combat, which is a bit unfortunate.
Be gone! No, alright!
Also, one thing I do want to fix. I want to take myself off a semi-auto. Because if you saw there, I was trying to hit the slime that was behind the boss kind of monster, but I wasn't able to do so because my character was just dumbly walking forward instead of attacking. So I think I'm going to set it to manual so that that doesn't happen anymore.
Not yet!
I think we got a good combo on the boss thing.
No, let's get him! It's over!
So that wasn't too bad.
Splendid job, Saray.
Let's keep it up.
So we learned a new art, she leveled, I leveled, we got Blessing Orb. We got 5 grades, so that's pretty good. Defeated elemental and species-specific damage. Oh, reduced. Defeated a powerful enemy. Okay, so that counted as a boss. Officially. We got Copper Key. Everybody's title proficiency increased. My equipment proficiency increased. Seraphic Arts. Characters who use Seraphic Arts use attacks with greater power and reach than martial or hidden arts, but they have a casting time. By continuing to hold down A beyond the necessary casting time, you can keep it charged when you use left stick to switch targets. Okay.
Thank you for rescuing me. What on earth happened?
He wouldn't believe you even if you told him.
You were drowning.
I was? Thank goodness you showed up then. I should head back and lie down for a bit. I'm fine, I promise. I can get back by myself.
All right then. Now we can romp around the ruins without that weighing on our minds. Mikleo?
From now on, I'm fighting too.
But you don't have the power of purification.
So what are you asking me to do? Stand around behind you and twiddle my thumbs? I didn't come along just to be a liability for you.
Mikleo.
Lila, is there any way I could use the power of purification as well?
There is one way. You could become a sublord and place your power alongside mine. And like me, you would need to dwell inside Saray, my vessel.
I'll do it.
No, hold on now. You need to think about this first.
I need to think about this? I don't recall a whole lot of thinking when you decided to become a shepherd.
That was completely different. Is purifying Hellions your life dream? I doubt it.
I am a seraph. Hellions are my natural enemy. Is it so strange that I should want to eliminate them?
I don't know. Do frogs try to eliminate snakes?
Am I a frog to you?
Why are you getting so hysterical? Listen to me, Mikleo.
I'm not getting hysterical.
Mikleo.
Your liability will be waiting back at the inn.
Saray, we should go after him.
He said he's going back. Let him have his way.
I see. This is youth, brotherhood between men. But even so, you should know what you did was cruel. Surely you understand how Mikleo feels, don't you? I've decided.
Huh? About what?
Moving on ahead. Yes, this is a fine idea.
I don't even get what you're talking about.
Well, the ruins won't explore themselves, though that would be grand.
I'm gonna count that towards the counter for later, by the way. So AP increased by 1, that's good for us. So we got the Blessing Orb. Can we take a look at that? I think it's in the valuables. So we attained the Prickle Boar hide, poor Prickle Boar. We got the Royal Knife back. We got the Windmaster Talisman Tempest, which increases our movement speed. Copper Key, which is... I think that now allows us to retroactively open all of the bronze chests that were locked. We have the Divine Artifact, and then Fire, so presumably we'll get more elements, and this is proof of the pact. And we got another Blessing Orb, which boosts our max health. So we also obtained the adventure map for City of the Lake. So we do have slightly more health. Let's take a look at this place. So we could see that there's a blue dot, which is, again, not on the... just not on the thing. Ultimately, we want to go to the bottom right, because I actually remember this dungeon. Eventually, we'll loop all the way around, and we'll end up coming up here and dropping down as the exit, so we don't have to worry about missing too much. I do want to look back at the save point briefly, just to see if there's a skit, because again, this game loves to hide skits. So I'm curious if it will also even let us come out or not. Let's see. Oh, no skit. And we're allowed to exit. Really? We're allowed to leave at this point? That's a little strange. What happens if we go back to the inn, chat? I'm just curious. I mean, from the story perspective, the game is assuming that we're continuing on with the aqueducts, but that's the game's fault for making an assumption. We'll repurchase the pork and potatoes, why not? Alright, so no additional skits. I just thought about how monstrous it would be if I had to count how many times I visit the inn. It'll be a lot, chat. I promise you. It will be a phenomenally too high of a number to keep track of. But for now, let's continue... Yeah, that's the right way. We'll continue onwards. So Mikleo has left us for the time being. There's actually another reason the game will not let Mikleo go with us. It's because it's setting up for a very specific gimmick that this game works off of. So they didn't want to have you with multiple Seraphim at the same time. And it'll make more sense later why that's a thing. And this is also a big issue I have with the game, because again, if you want to play with like more than 2 players, because this game does support up to 4 players, this game is really unfriendly towards that premise. Actually, I should go this way for the treasure chest. We'll go back and get the bronze chest eventually. Oh, there actually wasn't a chest here. I thought there was. Whoops.
Surely this is fate. Such slimes are commonly seen around this area. They aren't very strong, but watch out for their spewing attacks.
I'm not going to count that as a tutorial, though that is really tempting to count it as a tutorial. Now see chat, that's a tutorial. Soray is an orthodox sword wielding fighter. His B arts are quick, so the key to success are his stat boosting effects. His A arts are slower, but enemy martial arts won't stagger him when he uses them. So full frontal attacks are possible. Our Fine Shepherd wields a wide variety of elements, so it's handy to confirm the enemy weakness by holding down RB before charging in and exploiting it. So we got another piece of... I keep hitting start for the menu. I'm just used to that being the menu in other games. So we've technically gotten more elements, but they have less mechanics on them, so I don't really want to do that. Oh yeah, Chad, we're not even at the end. So unfortunately we can't climb up there. So they say it's a labyrinth, but there's only one way you can really go. There's not even really like a big amount of branching paths, honestly. Game. Do I really have to back up to use the door? Are you serious? Oh, game, you are just...
Can you figure out how to open it?
A door with no keyhole, marked with the crest of the Kingdom of Highland. This is no door. Is it? It's a seal!
A seal, is it?
When authorities find relics or artifacts that are politically inconvenient for the current regime, they tend to brand them forbidden and seal them away from prying eyes. And if the seal was placed there by the royal family, that would suggest the key is connected to them as well. Huh? What's up?
You certainly are quite the budding archaeologist.
Yeah, ever since childhood, exploring ruins was pretty much the only hobby Mikleo and I ever had. That Mikleo, if I ever discovered anything, he'd run out the next day and discover something else.
And?
Oh, that's about it.
Can you unlock the seal?
Oh, right. I think I'll examine the door a bit more.
Okay, chat, so we got the royal knife back. I forget if this is used for the puzzle or not, but we'll see. Let's examine it again.
What could this be? Just need the key now.
Okay, well, we might as well use it.
Yes.
Well, it certainly is a unique key. It looks just like a knife.
That's because it is.
There we go, chat. Figuring things out.
Is that a monolith?
Is that a monolith? No, it's a tutorial. Come on, we're at 44. Look at that, chat. We're building up. Oh man, difficulty normal. This is the standard difficulty setting. It assumes the player is familiar with gaining strength through equipment fusion as well as the rest of the game systems. While it's not overly tough, it may prove a challenge if you haven't done much exploration or equipment enhancement. Continue to improve your abilities and take on side quests to get more adept. Yeah, we might as well just call that the tutorial spotter. Silly, chat. It's just silly. Oh, reused enemies.
Some that grow larger when they become hellions.
Ready? But it's way bigger than the ones we've seen. All right.
Flames of Crimson!
Sweet
right?
dreams.
Radiant Heat!
Big on.
Splendid job, Saray.
Let's keep it up.
Three types of art tutorial. Like many of us, What? Okay, what a weird statement. Like many of us, martial, hidden, and seraphic arts are caught in a web of antagonistic relationships. Martial arts interrupts seraphic art casting. During hidden arts, you're immune from being staggered by martial arts. While casting seraphic arts, you're immune from being staggered by hidden arts. Thus, if an enemy only uses one type of art, you have an opportunity to pound them with the superior style. So this is talking about like kind of like a weapon triangle, but for the arts. Now, where I have a problem with this feature is that sometimes your martial moves are what the enemy's strong against, and you don't have a way of interrupting spellcasting because the hidden arts don't stop the person from casting the seraphic arts, but if you hit them with their strong point, they cast faster anyway, so you literally are in a lose-lose scenario against seraphic arts. So that'll be fun, chat, when we get to that later. They definitely thought this through. Wink. They definitely play tested it on the higher difficulties. Double wink. So there is a reason I don't want to bump the difficulty. Oh hey, look. I recognize those swaying arms. Hey chat, it's a Dark Turtles Emporium. So Tortoise says, tortoises, welcome to Dark Turtles Emporium. We'll take any and every orders any times from anyone's if it'll earn us some coins. That's the kind of high-rolling gamblers we are here at the Dark Turtles Emporium. So we could get a new armor, which I guess we should do. I think it's better than what we have. No, it's actually exactly the same. Has a different element though. I keep hitting start for menu. I will unlearn that habit at some point. I promise. Oh, we actually have other armor we could upgrade. Never mind. I don't care then. I take that back. Hello, plain treasure chest. Got another life bottle. So we see a very mysterious altar in front of us. We're going to try to avoid it for a little bit. So we received amber paper, so those that remember Laphicet and Zestiria. Same kind of weapon set. So I think this one is just better overall. It gives more raw attack, and then it also gives us some line abilities here. So we got a line here for earth-type damage reduced. So that's not too bad. Speaking of which... Can she use this one? Oh, that would break our line. And it gives less defense. Let's not do that. Similar to Berseria, there will be a payoff with the turtles. So we can't progress through the dungeon at the moment. I think the game will stop us if we try to go further. So we might remember this very briefly in Berseria, where we flicked it and we set it on fire. But we don't have a means of doing so at the moment. So for now, there's only one place we could go, which is the mysterious altar in front of us.
Whoa. Check it out! That sword, it's ginormous.
This is an altar to the Sacred Blade. It was constructed in the era of Asgard.
Lila, do you know about this? Lila?
So she's temporarily left her party, but we'll just go meet up with her again.
This is where I formed the pact with the previous shepherd.
Really? But then, why couldn't you tell us before?
You and Mikleo looked like you were both having so much fun. I didn't want to go and sour your explorer spirit by spoiling the end. And on top of that, I kept silent for your sake.
For my sake?
I want you to understand, you must not feel obligated to bear the world's burden on your shoulders alone.
Huh?
So, how does it feel having reached these ruins? You don't feel as excited as you imagined you might be, right? By any chance, do you know why this is?
Well...
You do not wish for your friends to share the burden of your duty. Is that correct?
I guess I'm really that transparent, aren't I?
This is a problem that always arises between the Shepherd and their Seraphim friends, no matter the era. Saray, you must understand how Mikleo feels, do you not?
Yeah.
Very well. There is nothing left for me to tell you.
Thank you, Lila.
And now, allow me to show you the real reason I brought you all the way here. I want to bestow this onto you.
A jewel?
They are called iris gems in the world of humans. But they are originally known as the Earthen Historia.
Iris gems. Earthen Historia.
So, can you see anything?
Huh? Like what?
The object you are holding allows those with resonance, that is, the ability to sense Seraphim, to see the memories that are contained within. They should serve you well as guideposts in your search for the Lord of Calamity.
But I can't see anything.
You can't? That certainly is odd. Saray?
Let's head back. There's nothing more we can find out.
But...
Hey, we can come back anytime we need to.
Indeed. And with Mikleo, of course.
So for those of you that might have seen Berseria, you might have already known about the Earthen Historia. So essentially these little globes are going to give us bits of insight to events of the past, as implied by the name. Now the Earthen Historia takes on many different forms within this specific Tales universe between Zestiria and Berseria. So at the moment we're basically just seeing, I guess you could think of them as like crystallized memories. So now we'll be allowed to continue here, so we'll probably be able to light up this little pedestal in a moment.
So then, is this sealed as well? From the inside?
This is an altar created in order to bring forth shepherds. It does not open unless one can wield the flames of purification.
Wait a minute. Doesn't that mean anyone who failed to become a shepherd could never get out of here?
Indeed, it is a relic of a much crueler era.
I see.
You have already been bound to me and are quickly becoming accustomed to my power. I expect you should be able to wield the flames of purification by now.
So, all I have to do then is light this torch?
Yes, but be wary. Those who could not become shepherds may have perished here, but their emotions linger on. This malevolence hangs here like a miasma.
Meaning that Hellions are lurking about, right?
Exactly. Proceed with caution.
Okay.
Proceed with caution. Hey Wedding Chris, how's it going? Oh, hey chat, you know what time it is? Another tutorial. Oh, Zestiria, you're something else. So, the older games like to do something called the Sorcerer's Ring, and there were usually a lot of different fire puzzles. And here we're kind of doing a variation of that. So instead of having the Sorcerer's Ring, we're going to be using the Silver Flame. And it says that if we use this against enemies weak to fire, we could begin the battle with an advantage. But for now, we'll use it to light that torch in order to make progress. I'm doing okay. So chat was asking how I'm doing. Just kind of a long weekend ahead. I got a lot of work, unfortunately. Post streams.
Bats can see things even in the dark.
You mean with sonar? Man, I wish I could do that. Blade Fang!
So I don't think it'll interrupt the stream sessions itself, but I'll be working probably between today and Monday. I think like 12 hours of overtime.
Are you all right?
Oh, hey chat, look what time it is. Oh, Zestiria, you have so many tutorials. Combo effects. Combos that mix martial, hidden, and seraphic arts provide various effects. Reduce SC consumption based on number of martial arts used, increase damage based on the number of hidden arts used, Increased duration of enemy stagger based on the Seraphic arts used. These only take offense once you use multiple art categories. So basically, don't just... If you just kind of vary between two different button presses, it's probably for the best. So don't just spam and then end with the combo finisher. It's probably better just to alternate, is what it's trying to tell you. But at the moment, we don't have any good moves to do that with. Or who knows, maybe we learned more and I just don't remember. So we could see our martial arts. I saw that we were using Tiger Blade, which was new. But it'll take a little while to get to that. Yeah, see, we still only know Heavenly Torrent, which is a problem. Actually, speaking of which, with the support talents... Tutorial time. I forgot to check these out last time. So, right now we can kind of toggle between what our passives are, but we don't have a lot of control over some of them. So this is finally explaining what snack preparation is. So it can only be used outside of battle. They restore health for all party members. Extra effects on next battle only. Initial SC restored by a small amount. Oh, we're gonna get one per one that we look at? Well, we already know the point of interest detection. We've seen it done. We might as well leave this one on the protagonist for now. So we can only have one set at a time. So technically, if we want to get everything maxed, we do have to switch out between them at some point. But for now, we probably want to keep leveling point of interest detector. So raising the level adds to the range. Setting it on multiple people extends the range. So Lila's basic ability instead of the snack preparation is the health maintenance. I was gonna say, yeah, we needed to fish out another tutorial from this menu. So it says, with this talent, we can recover HP over time while walking around. Use this to recover health in newly discovered areas with strong enemies. It will warn you after if you finish a battle with low health. I mean, this one is pretty generically useful. Oh, don't worry, there's like a million tutorials in this game, chat. There's a reason I set up the counter and everything else for this game. It needed some special preparation. So we could go back to the turtles if we really want to, but let's not do that. I think this song was also in Berseria, or at least a variation of it, because if you remember, we were underneath the sewers in Berseria at one point. I think this is the same theme. So we see a whole bunch of slimes blocking progress. And I'm going to try to avoid the bat, but we'll see what happens. Because again, some enemies will naturally outspeed us until later in the game. We decided to take 2 soft serve ice creams randomly in a chest that's in the aqueducts. That just seems like a good way to get poisoned. Who knows how long that's been there? It's like vanilla that's been there for decades.
I can't believe it. There's so many of them.
I have no idea. Do you feel any different? A new power manifesting, or a new sort of strength welling up inside you? Do you feel like that at all?
Huh? I don't feel any different.
So it really hasn't happened yet.
There's too many. Is there any end to this?
Saray, we have to break on through!
Okay. Tiger Blade! Focus on defense!
Yes!
So she's waiting for something to happen with us that hasn't happened, so we haven't unlocked what her true ability is yet.
Tiger Blade! There's no end to them!
Give your all to defense! We can still pull through!
I won't lose!
You can see that we're actually building up a slow meter. So if you look at our profile, we can see the number 0 is slowly being surrounded by a line.
I won't lose!
So the game will probably explain it to us in a little bit. But for now, this is all we could do.
You can use it now!
What are you talking about?
It is time you knew the true power of the Shepherd.
What?
Here it comes, chat, the true power.
True name.
This is...
Recite that name. Harness the power that flows from it and let it become your armor. That is the true power of the Shepherd.
All right, I'll give it a try. Fethmas Mioma!
This is armatization!
Wow! I can feel such incredible power! All right, time to finish this!
Okay, so we've now unlocked we've unlocked a tutorial, but we've unlocked the main gimmick of this game. So, for those that have seen Berseria, this is not really a surprise that this is the Shepherd's power. We've actually seen it quite a lot in Berseria, used in a more twisted fashion. But essentially, we will be taking some of our Seraphim friends and basically merging with them to become a fusion. And depending on what element they are, it'll impact our moveset as well as some of our stats. So we could see that here it's saying we need at least one blast gauge, so they gave a name to the number that surrounds, or that gets surrounded by the yellow line. And we combine our stats and skills, but more importantly, we unlock new finisher moves later on. And one other thing to keep in mind is that if we happen to die, as long as we can armatize, we can revive ourselves, which is another core mechanic in the game. So playing on higher difficulties is almost impossible without that later mechanic. Later on, we'll get things like, if I happen to die while merged, they'll still survive with 1 health, and we can kind of use that to cheat death a little bit. So this is cool in theory, but I'd like you to take into the perspective of somebody that wants to play this for the multiplayer, and they just realize that we're now down to just 1 player.
Vermilion Crescent, Burning Shards, Purgatory of Flame! Too easy.
That was wonderfully done, Saray. Armatization itself is proof of one's status as a shepherd. It means you have mastered its power.
Still, that was way too close for comfort. Gaining that new power right at the last second there.
I'll say, I must admit even I was worried. But in the end, you did an absolutely marvelous job.
Ah, shucks. Come on, you're embarrassing me.
Look at that hair, chat.
By the way, since the Hellions are safely defeated, what do you say you go ahead and remove the armatization?
How do I do that?
Huh?
I can't get it off.
What? Is that what's supposed to happen?
That's what I want to know.
So, you can't read the Earth in Historia. You were able to unleash the power of armatization with amazing speed, and yet now you can't turn it off. Saray, you're just a total mess. The Shepherd's a mess, I guess.
What?
Come on, Lila. Oh, there it goes.
I suppose once the Armatus has been invoked, you'll just have to wait until it dissolves. I'm sure in due time you'll be able to use it at will.
If you say so.
If you say so, indeed, game. Oh, yes! Oh, hit me with that tutorial, Zestiria. About Menus 3. Oh my gosh, chat, I wasn't even paying attention to the numbering system before. Arts and armatization. On each character's art screen, you can switch between different types of arts with the left and right triggers. You can view a list of hidden arts and change settings for seraphic arts here. Aside from these, you can also view other arts used in battle, such as Banish, Blast, and Rejuvenation. I'm actually going to count that as a new tutorial because that's a completely different topic. I'm counting that as a different tutorial. As the story progresses, scenario skills are added to the titles that characters possess. You can check them by selecting titles on the equipment screen. 1 without a single KO, use blast gauge, defeated 6 enemies at once. Okay, I think we did fine there. So I was saying that if we go ahead and hit the right trigger, we could see what happens. We could see like the other moves, we can assign them, we have like a whole different skill set. I'm gonna go ahead and remove it though, since it's kind of pointless at the moment. Use Blast Gauge 1. Activate with RT when idle. Temporarily boosts an ally's max hit point by 20% and recovers HP at the same time. This one is also really key if you want to do the higher difficulties, because sometimes you just get hit with absolute nonsense. So being able to heal and boost max health is definitely recommended. So we also have a finishing move, so it uses 1 Blast Gauge. So we press the right trigger after an attack combo. More powerful the less HP the enemy has. So these were basically our cinematic finishers in Berseria, but we can only really get access to them easily through Armatization. I remember this one being decent at least. Also, one thing I feel in this game, maybe it'll be different in the Steam version, but I felt like on the PS3 version, getting these to trigger was ultra finicky in comparison to Berseria. So what I mean by that is when we get characters that have a lot of moves that are in the air, and there's one character whose almost every move puts us in the air, you're not allowed to combo into your finisher. So the timing of this is really awkward, and I don't feel like it properly buffers it. So some characters I feel like are nearly impossible to get their blast in after doing certain combos. I feel Lila is probably the least susceptible to that, but we'll keep that in mind. I don't think she has too many things that cause her to go up. So she's learning the same moves more or less that Laphicet had, other than some of these moves are a bit different. They're more fire oriented. So now we have some blast gauge management to do throughout the game. Hey chat, do you see what I see?
I can sense the ancient tongue. We're near one.
Oh chat, we earned that tutorial. Armatization. Main characteristics of Armatization. Same buttons for hidden and seraphic arts. 3-hit max combo. And attacks focus on damage. So again, our strings can't be very long according to this. Area of effect attacks from legendary weapons. Seraphic art casting time greatly reduced. Enhanced healing, and most importantly, which will be useful I think even on normal difficulty, we can actually block magic attacks / the seraphic arts aimed at us. So we can hit the right trigger when idle to cast rejuvenation, or we can hold RT during combos for banish blast. Again, I feel like sometimes it just doesn't trigger, but we'll see that as we go through the game. And it says, don't forget you'll only be making half as many attacks as normal. Seraphic Art set to A will also vary by the Seraph. Speaking of which, I wanted to check one thing. I forgot that there were 2 different sets of things. So we had the support talents we took a look at earlier, but let's take a look at the battle actions. So at this point, we actually have unlocked, or we have enabled everything. So I need to start guarding a bit more to get more actions. So I might purposely let them try to hit us a bit more. So let's get into combat to get a new ability. So this should give me one after combat. So I'm going to hold still, and we should auto-evade a few times. So we'll be taking advantage of this to get some new abilities. Okay. So now we did a forward dash. We got some auto blocks. Not too bad. I think that should be good enough to unlock something. We can increase our health a little bit.
The ruins are calling me.
We killed them so fast I couldn't use the blast art. I wanted to show it off, but we just do too much damage on this difficulty. Although apparently we defeated the foe with the Banish Blast, so I guess it triggered. Oh, actually, you know what? I might be mistaking Banish Blast with something else, because it might just be a generic move. I think the actual... I think it's called Mystic Art. I think Mystic Arcs do unlock eventually in this game. Oh, there we go, chat. Oh, we earned that tutorial. Weaknesses and resistances. Enemies will variously have weaknesses and resistances to the 5 elements. So we have the earth, wind, fire, water, and physical. So the most obvious consequences are that you'll do more damage and use less SP if we hit the weakness, while we'll do less damage and recover SP more slowly if we use an element the enemy's resistant towards. However, weaknesses and resistance affect battle in other ways as well. Unfortunately, it affects battle in other ways, is how it should have phrased that statement, as that makes portions of the game, I would say, I'm not going to say unplayable, but really unenjoyable. Oh wow, chat.
I just saw a monolith written in ancient tongue.
We just saw another monolith. Wow, chat, I can't believe we're at 55, we're 56, excuse me, tutorials already. More things on weaknesses and resistances. Hitting an enemy's weakness will start a weakness combo with the indicator of power hit. Okay, that was in Zestiria. It will be shown beneath your damage until the multiplier indicator disappears. All attacks from you or your allies count as weakness damage. So this is the way to kind of get around the fact that if you hit them with something they're strong against, you're kind of doomed. As long as you hit them with one thing they're weak towards, other characters can do damage. And it'll cause them to be staggered. So it says arts that target an enemy's category count as weakness damage regardless of element. So that's one way you could kind of get around the fact that you don't have a lot of elemental attacks. The Seraphs are extremely limited in that regard. It's very rare they have more than 2 elements in any given combo string. Sometimes you might see a third, but that's really pushing it, honestly. Received another Void Ring. Oops, I missed the torch. Let's try this again. I was going to say we could use it on the slime for the weakness, but we got denied. So I actually just want to evade a bit longer, because I saw we probably got one for guarding. So like, I'll do it there, and hopefully they'll trigger some more evades.
Pretty good, right? Nope.
Truly, the optimal way of playing the game is to not move. Oh, I killed him with the summon animation. Oops. Wow, we're still getting tutorials, chat. Blast Gauge. The Blast Gauge represents latent power that can push you beyond your limits. You can normally store up to 3, unleashing it with RT and, once you set one of the various battle actions. Blast settings will be added to strategy once you've unlocked the Blast Gauge and Armatization. The lower the gauge, the faster it recovers, so there's no reason not to go nuts. Blast away. So let's take a look at the battle actions, because we did just unlock something else. Oops. When the controlled character takes damage and loses health, the character will automatically armatize if Blast Gauge 1 is available. That's okay. Can evade arts even when front stepping. So this is where front stepping becomes useful. You have to have push full guard, honestly. Although I think I'm more inclined to go towards break charge, because that'll cause a foe to stop blocking us and it makes our next attack unblockable. So here we have another gimmick. Instead of armatizing, we can press the right trigger to basically attack reset ourselves and reset the combo. So for people that really don't like the armatization, you could take advantage of the Blast Gauge by having a reset. It kind of reminds me of Clash of Ninja. They did a similar thing where you would use meter in order to reset your combo. It's the same kind of mechanic. And it gives us 50 SC, so it allows us to extend our combo. So even if we were allowed to press more buttons, it also gives us the equivalency of MP needed to keep attacking. I think for now I will take break charge. I technically want to get push full guard, but we'll see how it goes. So we still need a lot of recoveries. So we need to do 10,000 damage while armatized to go higher. And we need to acquire 50 combo hits, which is actually pretty difficult to do on this difficulty. I would probably have to temporarily raise it to hard mode to even have a chance of doing it, because every enemy just dies too quickly for this. So some of these things I think are limited to hard mode. Yeah, so we'll just be attempting to use the game mechanics as often as possible. Oh, that's right. I wish the character had a little bit of an auto lock on with the torch, but maybe that's just me.
Counting on you, Lila! Tiger Blade! No escape!
Come here.
How's this?
So for now, we'll just do what we can.
Miss Mioma! Release my Sprint Rhapsody!
Oops, not what I wanted to do.
Vermilion
These
Classic!
Hellions
Come
have low
forward!
vitality. Hit them hard and fast.
Oh,
You
we
were quite strong.
briefly saw Divine
But we
Phoenix
don't push
Blade,
over
but it
either.
absolutely insta-killed the enemy. Hello, tutorial. Switching characters. In the battle, open the menu with Y and press start to switch control to the characters to the right. If you'd like to change your default character, you could do so on the top menu outside of battle. So they're saying there's some battle actions you can only get by raising the battle difficulty. Yeah, I was alluding to that the combo is very hard to do on normal, but there are things that are locked to specific difficulties. It seems to be locked by some kind of torch scots contraption. I didn't see another switch anywhere. Very peculiar. I don't think we missed anything in any of the other rooms. I mean, we could very briefly look back. Like, there's nothing in the corners. I forget what that door does. Maybe we'll see it in the future. So let's go ahead and lower the ladder and get attacked randomly.
I'm counting on you.
Miss
The
Mioma!
Amorphous types are quite unpredictable. Watch out.
Burn! Let's
Arts
get
are
him!
effective on crustacean
I'll strike you
aliens.
down! Let's get him!
let's get him, chat.
Everyone okay?
So again, if we were on a higher difficulty, we probably would have been... Chat, I'm gonna count this. We have definitely seen this tutorial again, but it gave it to us again anyway. I'm counting that, chat. I am 100% counting that. We saw that in the menu already. And you know what? That's an Oh Zestiria moment. We already saw this tutorial. Why is it giving it to us again? Oh, Zestiria, what are you doing? Hello, Herbs. Why did the ladder make a door sound? That was strange. So maybe for the chat, I will briefly play on a higher difficulty at some point, but at the moment, I'm not in a rush to do it. I don't feel like the battle actions you unlock are honestly game-changing. I feel like getting the auto-evade is probably more important for the long run. And we've already unlocked them, so...
Phew! Finally!
So, what are your plans now?
I doubt he's at the inn.
Oh, Mikleo? But he said he would wait for us back at the inn when he left.
So, the ruins below spread out all over the place, right? If that's the case, I'll bet Mikleo went off to search for another entrance. One that's not this one.
Huh? You mean Mikleo went into the ruins alone? How dangerous, how downright reckless of him! The Hellions here are spreading like wildfire! You just saw firsthand what a force they are to be reckoned with! How can you be so calm when your friend is in peril like this?
He'll be fine. I know he's not the type to let his guard down when he's faced with real danger. And I'm sure he knows full well that he has no ability to purify the Hellions all by himself. Don't worry.
You really do have the utmost faith in him, don't you?
Well, it's a love-hate sort of thing.
I see. So Mikleo has a sort of rivalry going on with you, and thus he went alone to search for the ruins rather than return to the inn. But you're sure he wouldn't do anything dangerous by himself. So then, what are your plans now, Saray?
Man, you sure have a mean streak, you know that?
Oh, do I?
But anyways, first I have to return this to Alicia.
Oh, the knife you used to open the door.
That dagger floating
We found this
there.
at the ruins, where I first met her. It was probably handed down by the royal family. I'm sure it's very important. Before I begin my duty as a shepherd, I feel like I should return it.
Indeed.
Lila, you had something else to tell me, right? About what it is to be the shepherd. I'd like to hear the rest of what you had to say.
It's true, I do. But first, to that same end, There are things I would like to ask Alicia as well.
Perfect. Let's head over to her manor then.
We might find Mikleo as well.
Oh, yeah. He'll probably give up and wander back anytime now.
Now that would be perfect.
Boy, I knew you had a mean streak.
So some random nobleman was eavesdropping on our one-sided conversation. Because keep in mind, normal people cannot see the Seraphs. So we were basically just having a conversation to no one. You know, totally normal things. Speaking of which, there should be a bronze treasure chest around here. I'm pretty sure. It might have been up higher. Yeah, we should be able to open this now. And we have received amber boots. So there we go. That's one item out of the way.
Oh, hey! So you made it out okay? You really saved my butt back there. Thanks so much.
Oh, nah. It was nothing really.
We owe you our thanks as well. When this guy went missing, we thought he'd just up and gone home already.
Whoa now, hang on a second. Aren't you the shepherd? That outfit fits the description in all the rumors to a T!
Well,
For real? This is the guy that pulled the sword? I figured you were something special, but this is more than I even bargained for.
Gotta thank you proper for saving me. Wanna get some grub later?
To think I'd become buds with the great shepherd himself! My wife and kid are gonna scream the roof off when they hear this.
well, I don't know if...
Things must be tough, but hang in there.
We'll be cheering you on.
He'll be alright. He's the one who removed the...
Great. See you soon,
What?
shepherd.
Wait, what happened there? I didn't press anything.
They certainly were a lively bunch.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. Everyone back home in Elysia is a little more relaxed.
You spent your whole life in the village of the Seraphim, right? With no other humans around for miles.
Until I met Alicia.
I apparently was done talking. It kind of cut off mid-conversation and faded to black. That was weird. we're like, this conversation is over. I don't feel like his voice clip finished either. That was the weird part. But yeah, we were done talking with them. Okay, chat. So here's one thing we learned. Well, they don't have anything of interest to tell us. We're gonna check the inn. We're gonna see if we can get a skip by going to the inn. Oh, we got a full cutscene.
Doesn't look like Mikleo's here.
Figured. He's both as solid and stubborn as a rock. Let's go.
You really do know him well, don't you?
Coming?
Right away.
They're gonna make me leave the inn again for some reason. I don't actually want to leave the inn. Let's go back into the inn. Alright, so no skits. Let's reset our item. Let's say we'll do the party-wide one again. Okay, so we're making sure. So we got a special cutscene, but it didn't count as a skit. So that's out of the way. Again, anytime you have an opportunity to visit the inn, we're gonna come back to it just to get more dialogue, because they hide a lot of cutscenes. And as I alluded to before, eventually one of the times that we go to that specific inn, we're gonna be in a very hard boss battle. So that'll be fun when that happens, chat. But it'll be quite some time before we see that. Okay, so they say just to go to Alicia. I don't think we can get any additional dialogue. So we could just head on over to the Noble District, which is over this way. Yeah, this game is definitely very rough around the edges. But so far we're still in like the okay portion of the game, where I don't have too many issues with, I would say, as I said before, like the first 10 hours or so of the game, but we're gonna hit a couple plot points that...
We'll do everything we can, but I'm afraid we cannot guarantee a recovery. I'm sorry.
That we can't guarantee a recovery.
I very much appreciate your diligence.
And you? Do you consider yourself prepared?
Yes. I shall do everything within my power that I can.
Your distinctive personality is a point I greatly admire as your teacher, but I am aware that it also tends to drive the chancellors up the wall. Don't push yourself too hard. I'll let you know if anything happens.
Yes. Oh, Saray!
Hello there. Should I come back later?
Not at all. I was just leaving.
Oh, you're...
I thank you for your help at the festival, Shepherd Saray. I am Maltran, Knight Preceptor and Advisor to the Royal Army of the Kingdom of Highland. Please do all you can to help Alicia. She could use the support of a good friend.
Yes, of course. Wow, I gotta say, she's totally got it together.
I know, right? My dream is to be as cool as her. Let's walk while we chat.
And that dream will never come true.
You were investigating the ruins, correct?
Well, yes, that's true.
This is as fast as we can move, chat. Controller says no. She says we'll walk and talk, and then she says one line. There we go.
This is for you.
My knife! Did you find this at the ruins near Elysia?
Yeah, I figured it was yours.
This is an important item that's been handed down in my family for generations. I thought I'd never see it again. Thank you so much.
I do apologize, but may we get down to the matter at hand?
Lady Lila, forgive me.
Wait! Did you just...
I could hear her. I definitely heard Lila's voice.
Well, this is quite the surprise. Hello? I see. So it won't be that easy just yet.
Lila?
I'll explain things, but first, take her hand again.
Lila says she'll explain. Can you give me your hand again?
Sure.
Hello, Alicia? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Loud and clear.
I haven't even held my breath yet.
At this point, you've grown much more accustomed to my power, to the extent that you can now do what you did before without dulling your other senses.
I don't feel any different, though.
That's good news. It means you don't have to go through all that hassle anymore to make her voice carry.
It was fun in a way, but good riddance.
All right, very well then. Shall we begin?
Oh, right. Lila needed to talk with you about something.
With me?
I would ask that you lend us your power, so that we may find the vessels and the lords of the land.
May I ask what those might be?
To explain fully, I shall need to tell you how this world we live in is structured. In the ancient times, the Seraphim and humans worked together in order to protect their land from the malevolence.
The Seraphim and humans work together?
If the vessel they dwelled in was pure of heart and harbored no malevolence, those Seraphim with power would become lords of the land. And through worship by the people, they gained the ability to expand the area of the Blessed Domain, which repels the influence of the malevolence. The sanctuaries were built to honor the lords of the land and keep the area around the sanctuary safe from malevolence. However, the sanctuary in this town has neither a lord of the land nor a vessel, let alone anyone who will properly pray to them.
Is that why there's so much bad stuff going down around here?
Yes, even if the shepherd purifies the malevolence, it will be impossible to maintain the land's protection without the blessings of the lord of the land.
I see. So you wanted to ask Alicia for help in finding a suitable vessel for the lord of the land?
And should they be found, if those of the sanctuary would properly worship them both, is that correct?
Precisely. Any ideas?
As for the sanctuary, I'm afraid almost all of the pious ones in my country have lost their sense of gratitude towards the Seraphim.
No way.
However, there is a man named Brunor who has recently ascended to the priesthood. He is a good, sincere man who gave his time to help us prepare for the festival.
Would he help?
Yes, I believe so. Time is of the essence. I'll head for the sanctuary at once.
Well, that was abrupt.
But she's not wrong either. We must hurry.
So we saw Lila actually just left a note behind on the table, but I don't think we'll learn more about it until later. Actually, now it's not even there. Well, it was there in the cutscene. So she likes to fold things. I think it'll come up later in a different plot point. But she's leaving some instructions, I believe, for a future plot point. Now, the game is introducing the concept of the Lord of the Land.
She's gone already. She's probably heading over to the sanctuary.
She's quite the tomboy, that Alicia.
Which is going to be popping up throughout the rest of the game. So Berseria sort of had that concept where there were the 4 greater Molochs that basically had massive domains, and it like briefly touched upon it, but Zestiria is way more dependent on it. So unlike Berseria, where grade didn't really have an impact until after you're done with the game itself, you'll actually be using grade throughout the game in Zestiria to basically supply the different Lords of the Land power. Now, there's only one Lord of the Land I actually care about, because most of them are pretty much no-namers. And a few of them you might actually recognize from Berseria. But for now, we're just going to continue with the plot. I don't think the NPCs have anything interesting to say. Yeah, so they kind of explained away in the skit that, yeah, they could just literally write letters to each other. To me, this communication gap thing is so weird. I'm just like, could you imagine if they're in the desert? I mean, they could just trace messages all the time. Like, I don't know. I feel like this is like not really it's not a big enough of an obstacle that they make it out to be, because they speak the same language and everything too.
It looks like Father Brunor is out around town on an errand.
So it goes. Any clue as to the vessel, at least?
Let's see. Something free of malevolence. In the Galahad ruins north of here, there's a pure and clean waterfall. The kings of Highland traditionally bathe in its pristine holy water before their coronation ceremonies.
Water of utmost purity. That does sound like something that could be a vessel for a seraph.
Is something wrong?
Beasts have taken up residence in the ruins of late. Whatever was there was strong enough to kill all 10 soldiers who came to drive them out.
Hellions?
Likely.
If we don't hurry, then the waterfall could be corrupted by the malevolence. I take it that's not all, is it?
The malevolence is strong in Lady Lake. The holy water will absorb its influence before we have a chance to enshrine and worship it. Water in particular is delicate and easily corrupted by malevolence.
No way. Is there anything we can do?
Of course there is. But in that case, we will need the cooperation of a Seraph of Water. As a Fire Seraph, I'm afraid I am wholly mismatched.
A water seraph, huh?
Yes.
By the way, whatever became of Mikleo? I haven't heard his voice yet.
We sorta had a fight.
It's a long story.
Anyway, to the Galahad ruins! There's Hellions to smack.
That's true. Let's do what we can first and foremost.
Saray, please let me accompany you.
I would, but you don't have the power to battle Hellions.
But...
Saray, just as the Prime Lord can have sublords, so too can there be squires to the Shepherd. If Alicia becomes your squire, she can fight against the Hellions as long as she is within your domain.
My squire?
But...
this sanctuary. No, make that all of the sanctuaries.
So she whispered something, chat, but we didn't get to hear what it was for some reason.
A highland overrun with malevolence is the only highland I've ever known. I beg of you, Saray, please, take me as your squire, so that I may see my homeland free of malevolence.
Just like you'd always dreamed of. As you wish, Alicia. So then, how does this work?
After my incantation, give unto Alicia a true name in the ancient tongue.
Let's see. A true name for Alicia.
A new bud forms on the holy branch. Its flowers bring fruit. Its fruit begets seeds. The circle of destiny turns once more. Give life unto the will of the shepherd, and let it be proof of their bond. Thy true name as a squire shall be...
Melphisamechia!
Happy to be your squire, Saray.
Happy to have one, Alicia.
Miklio's watching us a little bit. So now we've acquired a squire. So now if we take a look at our menu, we might notice that two things. One, Alicia again is taking up a slot vertical to our character. So if you're playing 2 players, congratulations, you now have your second party member back. And something you might also notice is that, presumably, if Lila can be associated with Saray, perhaps something could be associated with Alicia at some point. But for now, all we could do is really kind of take a look at them. So her title proficiency is pretty high. So we're probably going to keep her on this one for a little bit longer. Let's see. So she's able to recreate healing items whenever we need. I feel like snack preparation is better for us, honestly speaking, just because that's a lot of passive healing. I just feel like that's overall more useful. Like, to me, we're eventually going to cap on healing items inevitably anyway, since we're not playing on the highest difficulty, because we don't feel like suffering. So we still have to search for Father Brunor, but we can also gather holy water from the waterfall. Let me go back inside here briefly to see if he's here. So without a water seraph, we can't do anything. And it seems like Lila kind of already knew what to do to some extent, because she knew that we'd need a water seraph. So I'm not quite sure how far ahead she was planning with it. Because if you recall, she said it would be convenient if Miklio was with us. So it seems like she already kind of knew about the waterfall. Okay, just making sure there's nothing hidden back here. Don't see anything, so we're gonna go ahead and go to the inn. Because again, there could be another skid and we could get possibly 2, one from the save point and one from actually resting/eating at the inn. So they're still talking about how the Sacred Blade is no longer there. I mean, it's been more than 3 days. They should honestly know at this point. So let's double back to the inn. Let's check. Skit? Nope, no skit. Let's see. We'll do the generic healing one again.
Phew.
Aha.
It's nice to get a break.
Yes, but still.
Is something the matter?
Not really. I'm just amazed all over again that Seraphim really truly exist. Talking to you like this, it's like a dream come true.
Alicia grew up reading the Celestial Record like me. She always wanted to meet a Seraph.
I too am glad that we are able to talk like this.
And I suppose that means that Saray's family was actually there that whole time.
That whole time?
I was searching for the Origin Village in the past when I stumbled across Saray's hometown. He graciously introduced me to his family, but at the time I thought he was just being peculiar. I fear I may have been rude.
I see. So you were looking for the Origin Village.
Don't worry about it. Everyone there is super nice.
That means a lot to me. Thank you. I hope I can meet Mikleo soon as well.
Yeah, me too.
So in that skit, it's implied that she can see Lila, but from the story perspective, I don't think that's actually happened yet. So I think we saw things a little out of order, but that's fine.
Melphis Amechia. That's my true name. It's surprising how you know the ancient tongue so well. Even in the larger cities, researchers are about the only ones who know how to speak it.
I learned it so I can read the inscriptions I find in the ruins. I'm self-taught though, so I don't know how good I am.
Could you tell me what my true name means? That is, if there isn't a problem.
A problem?
Well, if my name means something like Alicia the Tomboy or Reckless Princess, then I think I'd just rather not know.
No, it doesn't mean any of that. Melphis Amechia means Alicia the Smiling.
Alicia the Smiling?
When I return the royal knife to you, you look so happy. I hope I can see you smile like that again. And I'm sure you will, once you make your dreams a reality. Was there a problem with that?
Oh, no. I'm just surprised. No one's ever said that to me with a straight face before.
I guess Soray's definitely the type to say things that way.
Looks like it.
Did I say something weird?
Thank you, Soray. I'll be sure to cherish the true name you have given me.
So again, just when you think you're done with skits, this is a good example of where they like to stack skits, so you have to repeatedly visit the inn, which is kind of annoying. Okay, okay, we're out of skits. But again, you can never be sure. So we didn't get a special cutscene like we did earlier, but hey, we got 2 things of context, so we learned what the true name of Alicia means. And we could see that there's stuff in the store we could buy, but honestly, there's not really a purpose in doing so. So normally what would happen on higher difficulties, you would be going outside to grind at this point to level up the items. So we'll be seeing a little bit of Lady Maltron in the future. It takes a while for her to kind of factor into the main plot, but she does come up again. I feel like an issue, which I'll just state now, is that they introduce a lot of characters, but they don't really do anything with them for a while, and then I feel like they just altogether completely forgot other characters. So this might be the Galahad ruins. I'm trying to remember which one was the ruins, but I want to see if we could visit this spot. Which I won't give any spoilers as to what that is. I'm just curious if the game will let us go there yet. Actually, it says there's 2 dungeon icons here, so we know about the forest. We don't want to go back there. I'd really... Oh, they're going to force me to fight.
How about you, knaves?
Wait, it's...
What on earth?
Here it comes, Alicia!
Remain calm. Just attack it like you would any other creature.
Release my Rhapsody!
But I've already done the rejuvenation. I don't know why it forced me to learn that.
Everyone okay?
Okay, game. I don't know why you forced me to do it there, but I'm gonna count it. During harmonization, when you're idle or otherwise not performing a combo, press RT to cast rejuvenation at the cost of blast gauge. This about 1 second cast results in exceptional healing, making it useful for emergencies and non-emergencies. So here's my main issue with the game: is that when you are not armatized, you will start to feel very punished by the game because you lose access to strong healing, you lose access to finishers, you lose access to AoE, and it just feels painful to play, especially on the high difficulties, where you have like very limited resources. And I feel like they fixed that more in Berseria, where you could break soul without needing to give up individual characters, and I'm happy they went with that way. But man, when you don't have a blast gauge and you're trying to get it, and let's say it happens during a boss battle, oof, it feels just painful to play. Game, I've already done this. Actually, I'm kind of curious. Oh, I don't think I could do it in this form. I was curious if I could combo reset it in such a way that I could get the combo count to 50, because it was in the tutorial mode.
As you wish. This is a hellion.
You okay?
Sorry. I'm fine.
Again, it's... chat, isn't it really weird that we're getting, like, basically duplicate tutorials? Like, I think the key to tutorial is to be succinct, to be succinct and also informative. And I think the problem with this is that a lot of these are just like, we know how to do the Banish Blast. Like, it taught us this in a different tutorial. I don't know why it has to, like, restate how to use it. It's just really weird when you come across the Zestiria tutorials. I think that's why there's so many of them, because they keep repeating certain lines of information. Like, we could have already gone through and looked at the Banish Blast and seen that the lower the enemy's health, the higher the damage. Like, we already know that. So, it says status effects from many arts following a Banish Blast are 2 times likely to occur. That's honestly the only piece of information that's new that you might not have been able to pick up on your own. But, like, you could kind of see that you could combo afterwards, but it's just they die instantly, so it's not going to come up for a while. Again, very strange design choices with this game. Oh, we got sunglasses, which I think was an accessory item. Is that our first accessory item? Actually, I totally forgot. Oh, fashion's its own thing, that's right. Also, chat, for dressing up a character, why is the character model so small? Like, they have, like, really weird priorities. What do you think, chat? Like, why is the attachment box bigger than the thing that you're using to see them? Is there a way to make them larger? I don't think there is. So I guess we could show off the different outfits he has. So I will briefly give them the other accessories, just so we could see them. Oh, I forgot that Alicia was a character. My bad. So we would be the Sunglass Crew briefly. She only has 1 costume. So again, it's kind of hard to see the character, but now we have the slick back hair. Alicia's got the sunglasses. I feel like the whole point of the costume is to show off the character, where people want to micromanage where things are positioned. Oh, so we can go to the place in the northeast corner. That's good.
It's amazing how they can move without arms and legs. Sweet dreams.
Oops, I keep hitting triangle because I'm used to other games. Like, wait a minute. No triangles for combos in this one.
Everyone okay?
Okay, so we learned a new battle action by armatizing repeatedly. So now we get to see the squad. Oh, is her face okay? Why is her face flickering, chat? What's going... Oh, wait. Everybody's sunglasses are twitching. Zestiria? You okay there? Why are her sunglasses facing into her face? I might have pressed that a little too close together, but I mean, honestly, come on. Effect potential. All attack types have some kind of effect potential, making it possible to stun, enhance skills, weaken, inflict ailments, or steal HP, and possibly others besides. Well, I feel like we briefly showed them off, so I will go ahead and reset everything that's here. I'm gonna put his hair back to normal. Yeah, their faces absolutely did not like that. So again, if the chat wants to spend points in the future to permanently assign accessories, just let me know. You can spend that ZG. So we're up at a new save point. Let's touch it. Abandon... I guess you say that like cliff? we immediately get the extremely tragic music. So I don't think there's anything we could do here for now. The game will eventually explain what this is, but I figured I'd show this off early. So for now, we'll just head over to the ruins. And again, I guess we could technically bump up the difficulty a little bit. I just don't want to leave it on a higher difficulty. Defend for 1.5 seconds. Oh, no. I'm going to get rid of Chain Blast then. I'd rather get more blast gauge by guarding. That makes a lot more sense. See, we still need to guard over 100 times with the charge, chat. Or not 100, 1,000, excuse me. We have to do it 1,000 times. So this is going to take a very long time to unlock.
Is everyone ready?
So now every time we guard, we get like maybe 1/6 of the blast gauge, which is good, because on boss fights I will do this to reset our SC.
You can eat as much as you want whenever you're not feeling well.
Ooh, chat, we're at 63. So many tutorials. We've already seen this one, but I'm counting it because it forced us to watch it. If it was like me revisiting a tutorial on purpose in a menu, I wouldn't count it. But the fact that we're just after a battle, it gives us the tutorial we've already seen, that's pretty obnoxious. I'm making sure there's nothing behind the cliff there, or the rock. I'm trying to remember where it is. I don't think it's here, but it's really close to here. So somewhere, chat, I want you to help me find this. Along one of the rock faces on the PS3 version, they accidentally messed up the texture, so you can see it kind of clipping in and out of existence. So I want you, chat, to keep an eye out for it. I forget where it is, but it's on like this kind of rock wall. Hey, we leveled. And we learned a new art, which is important. Which one did we learn? Everybody's title proficiency went up, and the battle action went up. Oh boy, elements and status. Some martial arts have a chance of boosting your stats. Like, see, like chat, how many times have we heard about the boosting of stats at this point? Like, seriously, how many times have they brought this up at this point? I feel like this is the 3rd or 4th tutorial. Honestly, like, we know about stat boosting. So it says, for example, the art Tiger Blade being non-elemental will raise your attack. So it's saying to check the relationship of elements to figure out what is boosted. So I guess we could very briefly do that. Oh, we learned a new ability, which is nice. So I guess I will do this. So unfortunately, up and down on the stick will always be the opposite. The same move will be linked. And they could not have listed this in a more confusing way. What do you think, chat? Like, you would think if 2 moves have to be linked, why would they even need to draw the arrows like this? Like, why put the second one linked with the 5th if they could have put the second one here and make it 3rd, and then just make the 4th and the 5th one linked together? Just lots of really confusing UI decisions, honestly, in this game. It doesn't really make sense. So we unlocked a new ability. When foe is stunned, Banish Blast can be unleashed at a very high speed. This is crucial for getting some of the longer combos in the game. So that, because you saw how long it took for us to do the wind-up for our attack. Quick Banish, I think, will let us just combo it normally without dropping the hit count. So AP increased by 1. Nice. So again, we're going to try to keep an eye out. I feel like if we just walk along the wall... there it is! There it is! Oh, look at that, chat. What is going on with that? That's one of the many. Look at that. What is happening with that rock face? It's only at certain angles, too. Do you see it, chat? Like, something's not quite right with the rock there. I don't, maybe this one's specifically a shadow, so it's not quite the one I was looking for, but there's stuff like that. I think that deserves an Zestiria moment. I don't know what's happening with that specific rock face. There's one of them that's really bad. There's one that's like about as tall as my character and maybe about twice his height wide, that it just flickers. That's an example. So we'll try to keep an eye. We'll consider that a Zestiria mini game. So we'll try to pay attention to the rock faces, because I feel like they didn't quite do the textures right in this game still. So we're near the Great Morgan Falls, but more importantly,
I don't think we've checked that monolith out yet.
we haven't checked out this tutorial yet. Elements and status. There are 5 skills per group arranged with the following correlations. Okay. So this is a lot to take in, but basically non-elemental attacks raise physical attack damage, but also cause paralysis. Fire causes burn, which makes sense. Earth is slow, water is poison, wind is fatigue. So these are things that are pretty common across Berseria in this game. But we also have to kind of remember that these different bonuses are associated with different effects. So Earth kind of makes sense for defense. Fire kind of makes sense for art attack. Wind for focus, we'll just have to keep in mind. So there are a couple different places we can go. I'm curious, because eventually this place up here is a dungeon. So I want to see if they have any comments if we get closer to it. So question mark, question mark, question mark. So we don't know how to progress here. We could see the stone path just kind of ends here, but clearly we could see something beyond the waterfall. And don't worry, chat. This particular place houses the worst dungeon I have ever played in any RPG, but we have to earn the right to go to it. Oh, there we go. So here's something I haven't really had a chance to show off. So a way the game tries to conserve frames, and by default this is turned off in Berseria if you play on Steam, I'm pretty sure. What it'll do is at a distance, it'll make their animations really choppy, so the game has to think about things a bit less. So here's a good example of where we could see the enemy, but there's something like not fluid about his tail motions. So if we get closer, it should fix itself. Like, see how now there's like more frames in his animation?
I shall protect everyone.
So I think this is actually a boss. I'm not sure how difficult it is on normal. Oh, it insta-killed us. Wait a minute, this is kind of a problem. Wait a minute, it insta-killed us. Let's get out of here.
Whoa! Yeah! Whoa! Yeah! Yeah! Let's just get out alive!
Ooh. I forgot about that one, chat. Look how close that was, chat. I almost game over there. Wow. So this game is rude. I would just like to state, that is so rude, because we haven't saved in a long time. That would have been a huge, huge progress loss. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and increase our max HP. Also, there will be a reason I will not use items on Alicia, by the way, chat. So don't expect me to use it on Alicia, because she is absolutely not getting any items. We'll understand later why I won't do that. We'll use an ice pop to heal her for now. That should be okay. So there you go. You can randomly fight really hard beasts that are basically insta-kill, and you could kind of guess by the appearance that it would be a tougher fight. But first-time players would not be ready for the true nonsense that is that damage. So just imagine how unfun that is after grinding, and then you decide, hey, let me walk to the dungeon on hard mode, and then you just die instantly. So we're going to use one of our sages. See, this is why I keep that item here, so we don't have to get gels and things like that. So let's make our way to a save point and actually save in case that happens again, because that's just kind of nonsense, honestly. So we found the Galahad ruins. Yeah, this game does not really have an autosave, so that would have been a huge amount of progress lost. So we'll have to respect the game a little more, I suppose, even on normal difficulty. So we see the entrance to the ruins, but let's make sure we kind of view around here just to double check for treasure. But I feel like it was here somewhere. I don't feel like booting up the PS3 version, but I feel like there was something along this wall specifically that was ultra glitchy. I'm just taking a look. I'm not seeing it though. Maybe it's fixed in the Steam version. Or who knows, maybe I'm confusing it with that other cliff face. But it was like really, really bad. I think it's one of the ones you could spot at a distance too. Like the shadows on that rock are kind of weird. But that's not what I'm looking for. Oh well. We'll continue to search for more very strange textures in this game. So here's a good dungeon example of why the camera doesn't work in this game, and hopefully the game will demonstrate the fact that the camera is absolutely terrible. So let's attempt to go into this dungeon. So here we have the worst combinations of things ever for the camera. Close corridors and really large pillars / jutting obstacles. So we'll see what happens if we get in a fight here. Hey, there's just kind of purple things hanging in the air. I could set them on fire at least. Hey, chat.
Is that a monolith?
I had a feeling something would drop from the ceiling. I had a gut feeling. The game's kind of trolly like that.
Guess we can't hit them by flailing our weapons.
Watch out!
Burning? Come on, everyone!
Well done.
Oh, that actually interrupted our attack. That's so lame.
Not yet. All right. Release my Rhapsody.
Okay, so I could choose to heal her for 50% health. So one thing I'd also like to take note of, and why I don't like the high difficulty at all, is that similar to Zestiria, when you raise the difficulty,
my powers aren't much, but I try.
When you raise the difficulty, it reduces how much healing impacts you, to the point that some moves barely heal like 10% of your health. But unlike Zestiria, you don't have a way to very quickly heal yourself, so those blast gauge heals do like nothing on the highest difficulties. It's kind of annoying. Oh hey, the game is explaining something that's been in combat for like the past 30 combats. Grade. Grade is awarded from each battle. You'll get more grade if your fighting style is particularly flashy. In areas where the Lord of the Land is unlocked, earning grade will increase the blessing level, eventually awarding you with further boons. So this is an important mechanic, as I mentioned before. We'll be using grades to enhance Lords of the Land. But it's weird that they're talking about it now, because we don't have the Lords of the Land yet. So let's see, what's the next tutorial? Chat, how many things have we read on weaknesses and resistances? I almost feel like we need so many counters for this game. So it says, weakness combos during armatization differ from those in the normal state. Regardless of the number of chain hits, the damage multiplier will continue until the damage gauge runs out. Also, damage increases each time a different art of the same element is used. Okay, thus armatizing with weaknesses in mind, plus using a variety of arts, will lead to devastating levels of damage. So basically, if you armatize, they get stunned forever, and we just want to abuse that fact in order to basically maximize the gaps in boss patterns.
Be on your guard! Rate of fire! Rate of fire!
Oops, I keep playing like I'm doing Zestiria. I need to stop that. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of moves at the moment, so our damage meter will be very hard to get higher. Like, our finishing strike will potentially add 3,000 to 5,000 if there's enough people there, but getting it normally to 10,000 at this point in the game is kind of difficult. I don't think it's possible on this difficulty, but maybe on a higher difficulty. Oh my gosh, chat. Is it really explaining the points of interest detection? Seriously? Seriously, game? Oh, game, like this is like the 28th or 29th monument that we've taken a look at, or excuse me, the monolith. I'm not gonna read this, chat. I'm gonna roll my eyes. We know what point of interest detection does.
We're near one.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh, chat. Look at this. Targeting. Targeting shows you various information. Game, you don't need to teach us this. You don't need to do this, game. You over tutorialed. Like, come on. Like, players can figure this out on their own. When it's visual information, it's pretty straightforward, game. And point of interest detection really did not need a tutorial at all. It's in the name. But anyway, we got the mango sorbet. It's an ice-cold mango dessert that makes you think tropical thoughts. Again, we keep finding these chess well, I was gonna say chess tutorials, but all these chess desserts. Yeah, oh, Tales of Tutoria. That's a good one, chat. That is a good one. I'm very tempted to relabel the stream, name that. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the game is cooperating with the camera angle at the moment. But let's see what happens if we start getting into a fight. Let's say here-ish.
Focus on defense.
As you wish.
I'm counting on you all.
Oh, it's actually behaving for once. Oh, there we go. Oh, nope. Okay. There we go. That's the Zestiria I remember. Oh, geez, camera. Yeah, so I just want to show you why you never want to fight near quarters in this game. I feel like you haven't lived the true Zestiria experience until you've seen it.
Be gone, sweet. I'm counting on you all. The ruins are calling me.
Are you gonna tutorial us, game? Oh, game, come on, really? Oh my gosh, I'm counting this because we've seen it already. Oh my gosh, game, come on. Character will prepare snacks in advance. No, we don't need to know about this. We've read this already. I'm not reading this again. Jeez, game. I half expected to give me a tutorial on the life bottle. Oh, I forgot to talk to Alicia. We should probably talk to her. But we should be wary of whatever was that attack those soldiers. Be on the lookout. So one thing that's kind of annoying, and I feel like they don't address that until I think the DLC, is that Alicia's not able to armatize basically at all. So she can't use the main gimmick as Zestiria, which right now is not a problem, but as we get further into the plot, her not being able to armatize for extra damage and things like that is ultra annoying. Keep in mind too, she won't be able to heal herself either with the super healing. And she doesn't know magic, so she can't heal herself either.
It looks like it's just ceremonial.
This bow is a divine artifact.
A what? Oh, right. Hold on. So if this bow is a divine artifact, what does that mean?
A divine artifact determines the form the Armatus will take. Essentially, it serves as a model for the Armatus.
A model for the Armatus?
Oh yeah, like Lila's sacred blade.
The sacred blade of Lady Lake is also a divine artifact.
Huh, and that's why your Armatus is a sword. Hey, does this mean that I can use your sacred blade to armatize with other seraphim as well?
Well, that depends on the circumstances. First, as I mentioned earlier, just as I am the Prime Lord of you, the Shepherd, they would have to become my sublord in turn.
What exactly is a sublord?
Put simply, it is the title for one who assists Saray while working under the influence of my power. Consider the elemental property of the divine artifact. Each seraph has their own unique element that falls under their control. Mine, for instance, is fire.
So if the divine artifacts all have their own elements, does that mean a seraph can't armatize with it if their element is different?
Indeed it does. It would appear this bow's element is water. And Mikleo is a water seraph.
Let's go.
Huh?
Saray does not wish to make Mikleo his sublord.
Why not? It's no different than when I was made a squire.
But you called on the Shepherd's power in order to achieve your dream. Isn't that right? Mikleo is different.
Dun, dun, dun. Then he's just gone.
I remember this place was in the Celestial Record.
Oh, you know what I just realized? We had a point of interest with the altar, but I didn't get a prompt for it to be... I'm not sure what happened. We didn't get a prompt when we were in the other dungeon, right? Like, we got a conversation about it, but we didn't get a skit, so I think I missed the skit, chat.
Saray, there's something written on the arrow pedestal. It looks like ancient tongue.
Oh, show me. Don't walk off with relics and other junk you find in the ruins, okay? And no breaking stuff. On the other hand, treasure chests are fair game, so go nuts.
Very lighthearted, these ancients.
I'm not so sure. The distinction between academic research and crass looting can be very fine indeed. Perhaps their buried message is contemplate always the true intent of your actions?
Now you're taking it too far in the other direction.
Nothing wrong with interpreting it that way. But I'm thinking this might just be a joke the ancients left for us.
Indeed. Ruins are made by people just like us, so it only makes sense for them to reflect human nature. Quite profound.
That's what we like about you, Alicia. Your, sincerity.
Well, I'll try to go back and get the point of interest, but that's how easy it is to miss it. And honestly, sometimes I just feel it's because the button prompts don't work. So I don't think about it when I don't see a button prompt. So we have two different directions we could go to, but I don't know if we can see... See, it's saying right stick to change floor, but that actually doesn't do anything. You can probably hear me clicking the stick. So I can zoom in and out, but maybe we have to go to the next floor in order to do anything with it. So for now, I think I'm going to take the closer of the two, because I don't remember the right path offhand for this dungeon. Again, I don't really want to get into too many fights. The combat in the game is okay. Just on the high difficulties, it is just absolutely not fun. So it seems that we should probably go to the other one, because that one's a dead-end entrance kind of place. But at least now we know where to go. So let's backtrack over here. We could probably get multiple groups of enemies together, just because. But I feel like the moment they only spawn in single group, like we only see one snake there, it's kind of hard to pull them at the moment. So we could keep in mind that there will be ceiling ambushes. So anytime we see a treasure chest, we should probably expect something to drop down on us within this dungeon. So we could see the low frame rate bat flapping its wings. We're gonna grant its frames back in a moment. There we go. It's back to normal. So I'm looking on the ceiling. Don't see anything there. A dead end, but no treasure chest or anything. Oh no, I fought near a corner. Rest in peace, camera.
Well done.
Burning sword! Where's the flood? Hang on, everyone! Come forth!
It's also really lame that your super powerful attack,
Really? I need more practice.
your super wide power attack is just so easily interrupted and has no super armor is really depressing. Hey chat, we completed a battle without getting to tutorial. We did it, chat. We've escaped tutorials for a battle. Yes, Micleo is both touching the bow and not near the bow. Perhaps he's been the bow all along. Anything on the ceiling? Don't see anything. Treasure chest kind of propped up here. It's locked, so we're gonna have to come back here much later in the game in order to get that. If we even want to bother, honestly. I don't feel like any of the items you backtrack to were worth it from what I remember. They're mostly just accessories from what I recall. Ah, so we can see the ceiling slug. I'll ignore it for now. Earth ring could be useful. Oh, can we finally get more than one? I'm trying to bait the slug to fall down, but he's being kind of stubborn. There we go.
I shall protect everyone.
Ready?
I'm gonna block a little bit to build that blast meter.
They're stunned. Go!
Miss me over!
Amorphous types are quite unpredictable. Watch
Burning
out!
shards! Power supply! All right! Flow forth! Hang on, everyone!
I must try harder.
Purgatory of flame! All right! Release
I
my
must-
Rhapsody!
That's not the one I wanted to do. Thank you, game. I'm pretty sure I was trying to do that mid-combo.
Hang on, everyone!
That's fine. The game just decides what it wants to do on its own sometimes.
Your right side was wide open.
Really? I need more practice.
Well, chat, that was a very brief excursion slash vacation slash break from our tutorials, but we're back again. If you find the battle system is too difficult to adapt to, simple is recommended to take the pressure off. Those who are confident can increase the difficulty. Honestly, when they're talking about items drop at a better rate, it's not worth the XP loss. Like, if this game wasn't so focused on having the right elements for the right characters at the right time, I probably would have enjoyed it a bit more. There's still some major issues with the Seraphic Arts, so until we fight an enemy that has it, I don't think you could truly appreciate how unfair that is. So right now, the game is giving it, you know, they're mostly just doing physical attacks. So if you use things like the Heavenly Torrent and Shatterfang, excuse me, you could basically blow through all their attacks. But unfortunately, what's going on with us at the moment is that we're being lulled into a false sense of security. So the beginning part of the game is overall, I would say, not hard, and that's probably why I had good impressions of it. It's around the time we start doing some of the other dungeons beyond this where I start going, okay, game, okay. A set of doors have opened up. I wonder if there's something on the ceiling in here. Nope, just a snake. Again, we'll be ignoring them for the most part. One other thing I do want to check, though, I think it is in the library for the enemy book. I believe how it works is that the more you kill an enemy, you increase their drop rate of items. So again, if you're playing on a hard difficulty, it will result in you getting more things to use the fusion on, and will also result in better, I guess what I would say, efficiency. Because you're more likely to get random drops that you can level up. So therefore you have more things to grind. But I don't really want to do the grind. I've had my share playing the game the other way. So we're kind of at an awkward point where I said before, it feels kind of slow and awkward when you don't have blast gauge. So in the beginning levels in particular, it's a pretty big issue.
Sweet dreams.
I must try harder.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to block repeatedly.
So this is the power of purification.
My powers aren't much, but I try.
So one thing that's kind of a shame is I actually do like Alicia's moveset, but the fact that she can't armatize is like such a deal breaker for me, because being able to armatize to deal with bosses is kind of mandatory. Otherwise it just takes forever to kill anything. Like, it's like a difference of doing like 50 a strike versus like 600 or 900. Like, it's not even close sometimes, because it'll usually switch you to the, or you'll manually switch to the element the boss is weak to. Whereas if we take a look at a character like Alicia as she is at the moment, she has literally non-physical and nothing else. So she cannot really take advantage of the damage system. Or at least right now we have two different elemental moves. And we have non-physical and we have wind. So we have three of the main elements. It's not too bad.
Careful!
Yes.
What?
Where?
It's always above us.
I can see it.
Don't. It's poisonous.
Stop! Lila, get back!
Okay,
Fethmas Mioma! Breakthrough!
Burning
Charge! Predatory Blade!
Ready?
Burn!
Go!
So our attacks are not very effective against them. So we can see they're just resisting us.
Rate of fire!
So you can see, like, we don't even stun them at all if we hit their resistances, which again is a huge problem.
Pillars of Flame!
Like, that Pillars of Flame can hit them, which is kind of nice.
Rate of fire! I'll strike you down! Vermilion Crescent! Burning Shards! Pillars of Flame!
Yeah, I'm not sure why he said get back Lila and then merges with her anyway.
Vermilion Crescent! Burn away! Pillars of Flame! Release heavy!
Like, there I was trying to get the combo, but it just decided not to do it.
They're resistant to fire. My power's no use on them.
Saray.
What do you mean your power is no good on them? I just killed them. Game, are you okay?
There's still so many of them.
If only we had water.
Twin Flow! Mikleo! You couldn't have timed that better.
Lila, let me become your sublord.
Are you sure about this?
Wait, hold on now!
You're right. I am stubborn as a rock.
Huh?
I admit it. I'm hellbent on becoming a sublord. But there's something important that you don't understand.
I do understand. I just didn't want you to get involved.
Get over yourself. Do you really think this is your dream alone?
Saray, do as Mikleo says!
You can hear him too?
This is our dream. Now, Lila!
Very well. O ye born of the sacred currents of peace,
Mikleo! Lila!
here let our pact be forged, that my unquavering incandescence may be as thy purification. Shouldst thou accept this burden, recite aloud your etc.
Etc.?
Now for the Armatus. Mikleo, give Saray your true name!
He already knows.
You bet I do!
Oh my!
Here we go, Mikleo!
Let's end this.
We can't hold back if we want to win! Move fast!
Yeah, etc. I know. Ridiculous.
First! This is our Armatus!
I'll do the aiming, Saray.
All right. I'm counting on you. First!
Ocean
Blitz! Not yet! Smear Cleansing! Breakdown! Break on through!
Sweet dreams.
Ocean Blitz! As your assault! Now sweet dreams! Blue Flurry!
There we go.
Wow, that was amazing, you two.
Look at that hair. Oh my gosh.
Oh, were you able to remove it?
Now that you mention it, it just came off.
I wonder why.
Does it really matter? Besides, this means that I can now use the Armatus at will, right?
Lost those training wheels. Look at you.
Shut up.
Makes sense. So, that's why you couldn't take it off before.
Mikleo, I wanted to say...
Don't thank me.
Lots of really
After
fast
all,
cuts on this
I
camera.
merely did this for my own dream.
I know that.
I feel oddly envious.
Agreed.
Alicia, don't tell me.
Yes. Not only can I hear your voice, I can see you now.
Well, that's
way.
ultra
You can
convenient.
see Seraphim now?
I think it just goes to show how strong you've already gotten.
Oops, he made a bond. You know what that means.
Maybe we do have a fighting chance against this Lord of Calamity.
Saray,
Lila, Mikleo, please accept my sincerest gratitude for saving me.
it was nothing, I assure you. But you're welcome.
I thought we weren't supposed to be thanking you.
Guess there's no need to worry.
All right, the waterfall is just up ahead.
Party lineup. When Shepherd's ready the power of purification for battle, Seraphim 2 can access this power if they have a human to channel it through. When Sorey is the sole human in the party, only one Seraph may join him in battle. But if a human squire joins them, an additional Seraph may also join. When armatized, press LB again to cancel armatization. So we're getting a okay amount of grade. Keep in mind, like 14 is very high compared to what we had before, but this game is like ultra grind tier. Like, I kid you not, I think for one of the lords of the land, you need like over 8,000 just for one of them. And there are like 15 or something or more in the game. There's a lot of them, I'll put it that way. So we learned a lot of new arts. We got new titles, we got AP increases. So pretty much everything leveled up for us. Grade for no enemy dispatch. Oh, no damage dispatch, +1. Okay. That could be useful for acquiring different things. And again, we could switch out our title, but we're going to learn the same move regardless. So I have no reason to swap it at the moment. So the downside is when you first go to play this game, you won't know what title is actually good for you. So honestly, sometimes you just have to guess. Like, for example, the defensive one might actually have really good passives, but having not played it in a long time, I don't remember what the other 5 or 6 abilities are on it. Eventually, you should probably play with them to unlock more, but getting bonus grade for not getting hit is probably a pretty good one for us for a while, because we're not planning on doing many fights. I should probably switch her to use this, because it's technically stronger. These are bonus skills activated by equipping multiple instances of the same basic skill. Without revealing too much, equipping as many of the same skills as you can leads to extraordinary results. Why would it tell us something helpful? Yeah, again, I think I said before in the previous session, we want to get it to stacks of 4 or 5, technically. Like, if you're looking to really squeeze out everything that you can, you want them to be about 4 or 5, because eventually it'll get you more actions, if I recall correctly, which is kind of a game changer in combat. But getting to that state can be kind of annoying, so we're not going to focus on that for our playthrough. If it happens, it happens. What we'll try to do is just kind of cycle through some of our equipment and max the proficiency as we go throughout. Like, we'll do a little bit of the system, but we're not going to get hung up on the details. Hey, chat.
I just saw a monolith written in ancient tongue.
Dropped items. The first enemy you defeat in a battle will have a 2x chance of dropping items. That's nice to know. If you seek a certain piece of equipment, use the command focus attacks to target enemies that drop that item. So it's true. So saying I can use the D-pad to make them all fight me. Or fight whoever I'm looking at. Oh, camera. Camera, please stop.
All is done here.
It's another tutorial. When the going gets tough, sometime in the future you will likely encounter enemies that seem too... Game, that already happened! Game, that literally already happened! This tutorial is irrelevant to us. You may need to level up to battle against such enemies, but it's equally useful to review the knowledge you've gained up until now. You already hold the key to defeating such formidable foes. I'm very upset at the tutorial, chat. That already happened. Why would they do this? I'm shaking my head. What do you have to say? What do you mean she thinks? What do you mean she doesn't know what... Why wouldn't she know what Miklio's doing? I mean, he's probably going to put a seal around the water. I mean, obviously he would have to do something to contain an element of the waterfall to protect it, right? I mean, he is the water seraph. I'm not sure what else she thinks that he will end up doing. To me, that's just a weird statement. Like, we already know that water by itself will be corrupted, so clearly we have to... Oh, devil wings. I missed the description, but the game will tell us in a moment. Devil wings to make you feel like doing something naughty. Best not to wear them for too long. We'll show off the devil wings on each of the characters. They're very tiny. Can we not increase their size? One moment. Custom set? Register, equip. Oh, so I can just have different combinations of sets. Oh, that's different. Okay, so I can register it for the future. Reset display. Again, why? Is there really no zoom on him? That's so weird. Edit? Oh, okay, we can. Okay, so we could change how they're positioned, as including where they are, and this one seems to flip them. Those aren't even attached to us. At feet, so we get a bat wing feet. I think if we're gonna, well, neck makes no sense. We're gonna put it on its default location. So we do have a lot of parameters we can touch if the chat is interested. Like, we can make them really big. Oh my. Oh, wait, how big do these get? Chat, I can't not see what this is. What does the color of this do? Okay, it impacts everything. Okay, chat, I just want to see how obnoxious this is. Oh my. Those are really big wings. I like the smaller wings on Alicia, actually. I might leave those on. But our protagonist, very interesting. I think I want to do one thing. Let's see, it was edit. Then can I move them slightly higher? Or actually... Oh, so I can make them pop out a bit more. Huh. I mean, I should probably make them clip a little bit. Yeah, because you can't even see the curls. There we go. There we go, chat. Now we're flying around. They still seem honestly too low. I don't know. But that's fine. So we've come across the waterfall. Nothing in here. Let's check it out. Hey Kirk, how's it going?
Still looks plenty pure to me. Hey Mikleo, do you think you can freeze this water?
Huh? Yeah, don't see why not.
Then freeze it and let us bring it back to the sanctuary. Ice is highly resistant to being corrupted by malevolence.
His face is just obscured by
I'll
Batwing.
give it a try.
That's so obnoxious.
Thank you very much. That should suffice.
Now, before this melts, we'd better take care of our other problem.
What?
Oh, I think the Earthen Historia is reacting. We're getting sepia tone anime flashback. So we briefly saw the author of the book we had.
Lila, what was that?
The Earthen Historia. It finally reacted to something.
So that was something real from the past.
Did you see that, Mikleo? He was writing the celestial record.
Yeah, that must have been the author.
There are more Earthen Historia where this came from. If we obtain them, surely we can obtain more information about the past.
Oh man, this is too sweet!
This is only the beginning.
Those wings.
Don't get so worked up, or you'll just wear yourself out.
Right.
Whoa,
Saray!
Goodbye, wings. You've been destroyed.
He's burning up.
This is a result of the pact we made with Mikleo. He'll get better after some rest at the inn.
I'll carry him back. If we want to cool him down, I guess I better make some more ice.
Save the game up until this point? Sure. Wait, I hit yes.
Gone down.
I'm surprised it only took him 1 day to recover. It took 3 when he forged the pact with me.
Wait, chat, I hit
Definitely
yes.
got natural ability as a shepherd.
Mikleo,
Oh, thanks for helping with the letters, by the way. I caught up with everyone I needed to.
It's okay. I rather enjoy writing letters.
Are you awake?
I must have fainted again. Sorry.
You gave me quite a backache.
You looked like you were floating. I told the innkeeper you were just doing some sort of magic trick.
Well, I never was any good at lying anyways.
Don't overexert yourself. You still need to rest.
I'll be fine. We gotta find the Lord of the Land, and someone to pray at the sanctuary before the ice melts.
But...
The shepherd has spoken. Is it not the duty of the Prime Lord, Sublord, and Squire to follow him?
Hey chat, you know what that also means? No, well, other than cutscenes. But this, I just thought of something while we were in that cutscene. Oh my. Oh my, what is this? What is this? Well, look how big they could get. That just makes no sense. It's amazing. What, like, where do I even put this? No, it's not okay. Wait, how did I confirm this last time? Wait. Oh, I had to hit it again, that's what happened. Look how big we can make them. Oh my gosh, where do they even go? You wear them upside down. What is this? Oh no. This is a mess. These are something, chat. Alright, can I reasonably put them slightly closer to me? Actually, I probably want them centered. I probably just want to touch the Z-axis. Oh, hold on. Alright, there we go. We're gonna create our monstrosity for a little bit. Yeah, this is fine. We'll finish. This is I can register it. Okay, so we can always go back to this whenever we need to. I don't want to do this for cutscenes, but I think walking around in the overworld, I think this is truly the only way we could really experience Zestiria. Because they do have some eye animations, which would be a shame to not see them. What a mess, chat. Alright, so we got a lot of gold from what we did. So one thing I'm noticing, chat, is that the stars also seem to impact the amount of battles that this is effective for. So let's try to do this one.
Travel can be strenuous at times, but overall, I'm enjoying it.
Oh, right. You spent all those years living in the Sacred Blade. This must be your first time out and about in a long while.
Indeed. And is this your first long journey?
Yeah, for both me and Saray. It's a relief to have companions on the road. I'm looking forward to working with you as the Sublord.
My pleasure. Dependable comrades are to be cherished.
I'm glad that you two joined up with us, especially Alicia. Saray's always been a lone human among Seraphim. It's a blessing to have her around.
He seems like he was brought up with a lot of love, regardless of his surroundings.
I won't deny that. But I also have no doubt that there are things only humans can understand, that only humans can see, and he missed out on all of that.
Mikleo.
Please don't tell Saray I said anything.
Of course. It will remain a secret between the Prime and Sublord.
So there we go, the power of the inn. It compels us. We're gonna keep eating here, because as we saw before, there are a lot of skits and cutscenes from these.
Do you really think turtles aren't Seraphim?
I'm not sure. As they say, turtles are turtles, though.
They're not turtle hellions either.
If hellions were like turtles, we'd have it easy.
Then they must be Seraphim.
You can't deny the possibility that they might be human. I mean, they are turtle people after all.
So if they're Seraphim, then shouldn't they be called Turtlefim?
Well, I don't know about that.
But when you think about it, it's not like humans and Seraphim are all there is in the world.
So then, turtles are turtles. They are what they are.
I'm still not sure, but it'd be neat if that's true.
Definitely. What a rewarding journey this is.
Turtles indeed. We'll be seeing them throughout the game. Oh, oh no, chat, we unlocked Mabo Curry. Okay, I think we're done with the skits. This is a true Tales game where you will just endlessly eat there. Alright, I'm gonna have my... Okay, so let's make two different sets for him at the moment. So we have this one. I'm gonna make another custom set where I want to change this one slightly. No, I don't want... Actually... See, the bat wings look like they're the right height, but the placement's a bit off. But that's not what I want to touch. I want to touch the sunglasses one more time. Oh no, it reset everything. That's unfortunate. That's not what I wanted. So I think I want them there, but I think what we'll do is we'll max it again. But I want to reposition them slightly. I want to make sure we still see his eyes, because that's the important thing, chat. Oh, well, I can apparently... Wow, they float really far away from my face. Let's see. I'll put him here for now. This will be the safety one. There we go. Now we can see his face. We see our completely ludicrous character. So one thing I want to do is that before we go to that particular point, so we have to search for a seraph who will become Lord of the Land, and we gotta search for the Father. I don't want to do either of those things. I want to backtrack to the aqueducts. I want to see if we could get a point of interest conversation. If not, I probably missed it, and that's fine. I mean, I tried walking past it, but I didn't get any prompts. But we saw the game is kind of finicky with, like, where you can confirm things. I don't know why it's like that. So I think we... Oh, hello.
There you go. Now eat up before it melts.
Oh, a fruit frappe. The arrangement is beautiful.
Just what I'd expect from a water seraph. Something like this would be beyond me.
But Lila, you make sweets too, right?
Well, yes. I'm good at baking, but don't work well with cold things.
Oh, I see. So Lila is good with baking because she's a seraph of fire, and Mikleo is good with cool sweets because he's a seraph of water.
Even seraphim have strong points and weak points.
It's true. I'm really no good at baking.
I'll say, that one time when you tried to cook boar meat, you turned the heat up way too high and burnt it black as coal.
We were both little kids then. And besides, it only happened because you didn't make the fire.
Guys, talking is fine and all, but
if you don't eat, it's going to melt.
Oh, shoot!
You always make ice pops with so much ease, Mikleo.
I'm a water seraph. Something like this is a piece of cake.
Chilled food is a luxury to me. Even just getting the ice needed to cool things is pretty difficult.
If you'd like, I can make them any time for you.
Really? Then can you teach me how to make them?
Well, sure. If you don't mind.
Thank you very much. As for the ice itself, is there any way to get it other than using seraphic arts?
I can't think of any other way than freezing water to make ice.
I see. Then it'd be a little difficult for me.
In that case, I'll just prepare the ice myself when we're together. I'll teach you how to make the fruit juice first. Then you'll be able to make it by yourself if you have ice.
Yes, thank you. I'm not particularly fond of cooking myself, but I will do what I can. Mikleo, please pass me the orange. I shall cut it properly with my skillful lancing.
I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to use a lance in cooking.
So one thing I want to make sure that we do is I think we can get different skits potentially off of our support skills, because it sounded like both of those were because we've been leveling snack preparation. We can also get treasure detection, but honestly, I don't think it matters. We find most of the chests without it automatically. The monoliths can be kind of annoying to do, and the discovery points are the ones I really want to level anyway. So one thing I wanted to discuss, but we can't really see it here. is that you might actually recall those symbols from Berseria when the Armatization was being used, because it's actually the same symbols that are associated with these characters. So the sword, the fire sword, is associated with Lila, and the water bow is associated right now with Mikleo. We'll be seeing new weapons as we go along. I feel like it's pretty common for JRPGs to say, I don't know what it is about knights and cooking, but they always say they're going to cook with their spear or their sword, because that was also a thing in Rune Factory, as an example that was shown on stream. So we could buy new equipment, but nah, equipment is meaningless in this game. So we're going to go back here, because it said that this was a discovery point. I doubt we'll get a skit, but I'd at least like to have it marked in the library.
There should be a vista point nearby.
Yeah, see, I think I missed a skit here from when we originally came here. But oh well, we went back for the AP. So we can't go back the way we came because we went down the slope, so we have to take the long way out of the dungeon. And I suppose since we are going the long way out of the dungeon, I suppose I could humor the chat briefly and put it on higher difficulty. Just because we're backtracking. But when we're going with the story, I'm putting it back down. As I said before, you unlock new battle actions by playing on higher difficulties, as there's some that only unlock by doing a certain number of battles.
Ready, Mikleo?
Hey,
ready?
Bring these demons!
Lord of Water! They're resilient. Don't just start in there. Sweet dreams.
Well done.
Sweet dreams.
I'm not sure what happened to their animation there.
Sweet dreams. All right.
Well done.
Looks like we win.
Look at those sunglasses, chat. Hey Kirk, you're just in time. So chat, I want you to know, if you missed something and you feel like you want to know the Zestiria tutorial and Zestiria moment counters, I added a new command. So you can... Yes, we're at 75. If you hit the exclamation mark and just type in Zestiria, and make sure to type it with an I, because I think I had a typo on the first stream session we did, you could see what our current count is. So if you step away for a bit, chat, and you want to know if the tutorial counter is somehow not in chat, you too can use that to learn more about it. I know, Kirk. You missed Kirk. So we got 30. I think we got 38 last time, and we're at more than. Oh, that's funny. We're at more than 68. Oh, I got stuck on her briefly.
Tiger Blade. It's over.
Yeah, we almost got an additional 40. Oh, the camera. Oh, camera, please no.
Purification complete.
So again, because we're just kind of refighting areas, I'll put it on hard. Kirk, you have a lot of tutorials to catch up on. Listen, I'm gonna steal it from what Chris said earlier in the chat. It's Tales of Tutoria. I'm pretty sure. They just spelled it wrong.
Let's do this.
Demon Fang.
Ready?
Blade
Fang. Close.
Oops, that was weird.
Lord of Water. This one's tough. Aim and fire. Take down. As your assault. Hang on, everyone.
I must try harder.
Well done, everyone.
Again, since we're refighting, this area is not difficult, so I don't mind doing it on hard. Again, my issue is when we start fighting enemies with seraphic arts. That's where the game just becomes unbearable, in my opinion.
It's over. Sweet dreams. Freezing strike. Strike. Lord of Water. They're resilient. Don't just start in there. Hang on, everyone. Break on through. Nice job, Mikleo.
You've been slacking off, haven't you?
And because we're playing on a high difficulty, you notice we're getting a lot of items. So we just got 2 battle boots. When we're playing on normal, we generally don't get a lot of items. Again, the intention is that you're supposed to grind and grind and grind and grind and grind in order to get more items. But we won't really be taking advantage of that. But since most of these fights are pretty hard to avoid anyway, because they move faster than us for the most part. We might as well take advantage of the difficulty. Maybe we'll get some battle actions that'll help us.
Such is what I expect of the Seraphim.
So speaking of which, if we check the battle actions, there should be one that says do it on hard or something, the equivalency thereof. So we're still quite a ways away for the damage dealt. Combo count, unless we play against a boss, this is kind of hard to do. And it'll be much easier once we get more actions, so we're not in a rush for the 50-hit one. Even if we were to unlock it, it would take away so many different abilities that we have that I still don't think it would be worth it. Again, I feel like some of the more useful ones involve surviving at 1 health. Those are the ones we want to prioritize for later in the game. Alright, so we said we had the vessel. Hope we don't meet any more powerful Hellions. Alicia says, like the one in the Galahad ruins, you mean? Indeed, I almost wish I could return to my ignorance of those foul beasts. Which reminds me, repairs are supposed to start soon on the bridge south of Lake Haven near Falkwind Hillside. So the game is going to allow us to continue to the next town. There will be large groups of large groups of workers gathering over there, so I fear they may make tantalizing victims for the Hellions. Perhaps we ought to check on them and make sure they're alright. Okay. There we go. So again, because we're refighting things, we'll stick with this for now. So as you can kind of see near each of the portraits, there are 4 pointed, I was going to say stars, but there's 4 points on the cross that's there. And each of them is associated with an element. We can hit the D-pad to swap who we have partners with, and that'll be useful for later on in the game. At the moment, it doesn't really matter. I feel like Mikleo is just a better one to start with because he gets so many more hits, so it's easier to stun. I feel like later on in the game, my opinion switches where I find Lila's Armatization form a lot more useful, because she'll get little spells like, I'm scared that all said quick save. Wait, chat, did it delete our save? Chat, I think the game deleted our save when I said save before. Like, legitimately got rid of it. Because we had something... Yeah, I think this is what happened. I think we woke up and it made our other save a quick save. Very interesting. Oh, Zestiria, deleting our saves. Or if nothing else, it's overriding them to be that, but that's still really weird. Snack preparation black stuff. Well, it seems that did not go well. So speaking of which, I don't really want to continue on the higher difficulty. But again, we'll eventually grind that up at some point. So we saw 2 different cutscenes. So I think what we'll try to do is we'll try to conclude our business within Lady Lake, and that'll be a good stopping point, I think, for the stream. So we're looking for a vessel, and we're looking for the priest. So who would be able to control this water magic, perhaps?
Seraphim, whose blessings yet dwell in this land, turn thine ears to our prayers.
Thank you so much, Father Brunor. Thanks to you, my son's legs have healed considerably.
No need to thank me. It is your diligent prayer that has made the difference. Be steadfast and pure in mind and spirit as you continue to pray for the health of your son.
A contribution to the sanctuary.
I told you before, madam. I'm afraid I can't possibly...
Please accept it. There's something I've realized. Merely praying for help is an offense to the Seraphim. It is a selfish act for personal gain.
Who told you such a thing?
Well, no one in particular.
You'll need money to pay for your son's treatment, won't you? Use this towards that end instead, for the sake of your son.
My son feels the same as I do. Everyone says the same thing. His wounds were punishment for his selfish prayers. And There are even those who spread vicious rumors about myself and you, Father Brunor. Please, I beg of you, accept this so that we might be saved.
Very well. I shall humbly accept your gift as a token of you and your son's gratitude.
Oh, thank you so much. Now, perhaps these rumors will finally come to an end. May you receive the blessing of the Seraphim, Father.
Right, the blessing. Guess I'll buy a drink.
How would that end rumors
Princess.
exactly?
I'm here to ask a favor.
Of me? What could I...
We would like to ask you to enshrine and look after a new seraph in our town's sanctuary. This is a request from the shepherd.
The shepherd? You mean this boy is the... Forgive me.
You are not to be blamed. It is the fault of the royal family that so many have strayed from the noble path.
Excuse me, if I may? It's nice to meet you. My name's Saray.
Huh?
I'd like you to be the one to worship at the sanctuary for the protection of Lady Lake. I'm sorry for all the trouble I've caused by pulling the sacred blade so carelessly. I know I'm still a fledgling shepherd who hasn't gotten used to things yet, but I promise I will do my best.
Yes, of course. It's quite all right. Please, do not prostrate yourself so.
Thank you.
This request comes from me as well. Please, help me so that I in turn may help this inexperienced but pure of heart shepherd.
Of course. I am honored that I may possibly be of service to one such as yourselves. Though I am frail of body, I shall perform the task at hand with the entirety of my spirit.
I'm glad. Yeah. Oh, man. My foot's asleep.
Seriously?
Oh, Saray.
Well then, Father Brunor, when you're ready, I will come visit you again.
As you wish. Do be careful.
Well, that's one way to ask a favor, I guess.
It was very Saray.
Yes, I think this helped the priest as well.
Okay, doesn't look like any new conversations. So... oh, actually, no. This one's new. Okay, so we still haven't found a seraph to become the Lord of the Land. Because keep in mind, we need different components. So basically, the game has taught us that there are 3 components, right? So there's the vessel, and the vessel contains the seraph. The vessel will basically keep the seraphim from impurity/corruption, but they then cannot get power unless somebody worships them. So we have the worshipper out of the way, and he could teach other people to worship the Lord of the Land. And from that, the seraph can create a domain, so that'll dispel some of the corruption that's kind of lingering in the air. Because without it, even if we were to purify it with our flames, which we can apparently use in town for some reason, we will not be making a lot of progress. But we're not sure where we can find a seraph to do this. So it can't be one of our party members, because that would mean we'd have to leave them behind. So maybe we should check out the Noble District. And now they're saying that some kind of water spirit might have attacked the bridge. So it's possible we do actually have to go to the river, because we already heard a couple mentions of the workers, and it seems like that might actually be the case. So we heard that the workers could be attacked at some point, so maybe what we have to do is go to the, I think it was the south? Grandpa's always saying a dragon lives up on Spirit Crest Mountain. That's actually an important plot point. We'll be coming up to that very soon. Thank you, spoiler rumors. But yes, chat, there will be a dragon we can interact with extremely soon. So ultra spoilers from the game. Alright, so we're gonna just do this one more time, because we did a little bit more dialogue. It's unlikely that we unlocked a new skit, but I feel like we should do that before we leave. So I don't see anything within the town itself. I don't think I missed anything in the aqueducts. At least I don't think so. I mean, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to double check before I walk all the way there. I mean, the aqueducts are right here. They're having a devil of a time trying to fix that bridge. So we'll investigate that soon. I just want to make sure we're not missing any skits or side stories. One thing you might have also noticed, chat, is that to the bottom left of the minimap display, there is an elemental thing. So whenever I press the button, we can see it light up, and it indicates which seraphim I'm using. Now, the problem is that there's one power we unlock later that is absolutely atrociously bad, and we have to use that in the worst dungeon in the game. I don't look forward to that, chat. I just want you to know, just for you, chat, I will dig up a way to keep a timer going to see how long it takes for me, who has played through this dungeon before, to beat the dungeon. But I want to make sure you experience the true Zestiria experience. So I'm going to try to purposely not dodge things. And you just play as though like you're just coming into it blind. I'll try to emulate that experience as we go through, because it is certainly a Zestiria experience. Now, one other thing I want to check while we're walking there. Are there anything else? Yeah, see, we don't have more points of interest detection. I think we can get another character later that has it. I don't remember if a third character has it or not. Unfortunately, I think it'll take a little while before we go there. If I recall, we don't go there for some time. Like, I want to say like another 15 hours in the game, maybe 20. Because we don't even have a full party yet. I'm pretty sure it's after we get a full party. Ah, so now we're getting some plot points. So they're saying that some kind of water spirit is angry and is attacking. So logically what we should probably try to do is if it's a water spirit... Oh, I didn't want to switch the battle character there. Oh, can we not do that? Am I misremembering? I'm not counting this as a tutorial because I hit the button, chat. That doesn't count. But what I was trying to... Player 2. There we go. That's what I was looking to do. So for some reason, player 2 has popped up. I did not really want to do that. I hope it... Yeah, it's still on auto, so we should be okay. So I'm going to swap her over just preemptively, so that way we can make sure that we have her fire sword. There are so many buttons you can press while trying to rearrange things. Oh, I actually went under the eagle. I was going to say hawk.
Eagles attack while retreating.
So it's best to aim right after it attacks.
It's over!
So here's where if I had a blast gauge, I would try to reset the combo a little bit.
Sweet dreams. Everyone okay?
We didn't get a tutorial. Very interesting. Now, one thing I want to make sure that's active. Okay, so we did reactivate Resilient Aid. I couldn't remember from last time. I only remembered their special AI. So one thing we're gonna have to keep it. Oh, I want to keep track of it. Oh, she still has health maintenance. We'll do snack preparation for now, I guess. And sorry, one more thing I want to do. I want to make sure we're at full health, because we are coming up to a fight, I believe. That should be good enough. So I do like health maintenance overall, but I want to try to get the snack leveled up in case it leads to skits. So they said they're going to repair that bridge that we saw earlier. And we can see there's a town over here. And I remember running in really big loops over and over and over again, grinding equipment. I will not subject you to that, chat. I know better now. So they're not really hard at work, given that this is still as broken as when we last saw it. But hey, we could take a look at the soldiers that are here. Actually, before we talk to them, I know these NPCs won't stick around for too long. So let's talk to them here. So they're saying this weather is kind of unnatural because it's raining really hard here, but only here, which is a good observation. So they're saying that originally there were sandbanks used to support the bridge, but that's also been washed away completely. We can see the river is flowing pretty quickly. So perhaps something doesn't want us building the bridge.
We're investigating the collapse of Grifflet Bridge. The cause may be flooding from the rains.
It wasn't caused by rain.
The current is odd considering the water level.
I have a bad feeling about this.
You should evacuate.
Finally, someone who's talking some sense.
Who are you?
All right, do as Saray suggests.
Saray? You can't possibly mean the shepherd. If he is, maybe he can stop the floods.
You really think there's anything that can stop the water spirit's rampage? Water spirit? It's terrible. Destroyed the bridge in an instant. It's some sort of monster.
Silence! Enough with your nonsense! What?
The water spirit! Run!
That's an order. Hurry!
This thing is called Ouroboros. It is Snake Dragon. It's this type of snake alien, but this one's particularly as dangerous as dragon. Be cautious and don't just attack at random. So we can see his health and some of his other stats here.
Does this thing really look like a person to them?
An Ouroboros? Why is it in a place like this? To ordinary people, it probably looks like a huge water spout.
It looks pretty strong.
Careful of his rising coil attacks. It spins and plunges into you.
Oh my god. Hold on, chat. Did you hear that? Chat, she is Demon Fang! Chat, she's the real protagonist. I knew it. Chat, she's the real Tales protagonist. I heard it.
Be careful.
Searching current. Burning sword. Pillars of flame. Release my sword. Burning sword. Pillars of flame.
Aw, we almost had 50 hits there, chat. That was so close. By the way, this thing's health total is obnoxious. Are we supposed to beat this?
Burn away! Purgatory of flame! Blink through! Burn away! Purgatory of flame!
Ha! It's over!
Mikleo, what are you doing? Oh, he's doing some spells. Okay.
Vermilion Crescent! Burning shards! Break through! Burn away!
Chat, this is so sad. If the AI would just actually attack, we would have had 50 hits.
Offer your protection! Burn away! Pillars of flame!
Like, there's something really not right with the AI in this game. I don't know what to say. Like, they're just not attacking, so we just can't get the combo going. So speaking of which, do we have anything that's dragon type to punish him? Oh, we did have Vermilion Crescent. So that's just neutral on our normal attack. Okay. But we don't have an anti-dragon move on this character.
This is quite a bind.
I need a hand! No fire! Release my spirit!
Alright, so let's heal ourselves a little bit. So they are doing some decent damage. Camera.
Burning sword! Purgatory of flame! Burn! Burning sword! Purgatory of flame! Vermilion Crescent! Burn away!
Oh, see, they just stopped attacking.
It's over.
Chat, there's nothing we could do if they just don't attack. I'm gonna heal a little bit so they're more aggressive. Like, can we get them to attack more? I mean, he's told to focus on attack. I don't know. Like, they just... We almost had 50 hits. And I feel like that's not our fault. I feel like the game just legit will not let us get the combo.
Burning charge! Pillars of flame! Breakthrough! Demon Fang! Burn! Healing powers! Burn! I need a hand! Vermilion Crescent! Burning charge!
One moment, chat.
Healing powers! Never! Burning charge! Predatory flame! Demon Fang! Resilient aim! Release my Rhapsody! Boy! Take that! Vermilion Crescent! Lunar Stream!
Sorry about that, chat. I'm actually getting called away. So we're gonna try to end on this particular boss fight, which is taking forever, I might add. And unfortunately, we don't have anything to extend our combos. Like, did I leave it on the higher difficulty by accident? Because this is just taking, like, an absurdly long amount of time to kill, and it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Burning shards! Resilient aim!
Alright, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to do the 3-hit combo into the charge move, or it'll just heal instead of doing it. So that's another thing I have to say I'm kind of annoyed about the game. Like, I just keep getting the heal move where I want to do the combo. I'm not sure why it sometimes does that, because I'm at 1 blast gauge, which should be enough for it to, in theory, continue the combo. Like, chat, I think we can all agree that this fight is going on way too long. I don't know if they assume you power level or what the deal is.
Please pick one. Okay. Oh, this one's blank.
That means your spirit is pure and clean.
I'll be right back, chat.
Oh, thank you.
She's gullible. Way too gullible.
Anyway, now we're back. So yeah, that took 3.5 minutes. Like, that was just... I don't know. Well, anyway, we learned new arts. We got another orb. We got the Windmaster Talisman, which lets us move faster, so we can avoid combat more easily. Got title proficiencies, new battle actions. The game is now telling us about switching, which is like way too slow, because if you had Mikleo here, you would have been kind of doomed to some extent, because he's not a good matchup on this. I think he does have one anti-snake move, but it's not great. I just feel the neutral fire technique's just so much better for this boss fight. Alright, so this is teaching us we can use the D-pad to switch. That's fun.
What? The Hellion turned into a Seraph?
It's the other way around. Hellions that are strong enough to manifest themselves are those that were once Seraphim.
A Seraph can become a Hellion?
And Seraphim that have completely turned into Hellions are known as... dragons.
Dragons? Those really exist? So, then the legends were true.
So the wrecking of the bridge was all my fault. I'm so ashamed. If you hadn't been here to purify me, I don't know what would have happened. Thank you.
I'm really glad that we were able to save you.
I am Uno, young shepherd.
Saray. Uno, in exchange for saving you, we would like to ask you a favor. Would you be willing to listen? I would ask you to bless Lady Lake.
But as things currently stand in that town...
Lady Alicia, are you all right?
I'm fine. The water spout has disappeared.
See, I told you she'd be fine. Nothing can hurt our princess when she's got the shepherd at her side.
Weren't you the one shaking in his boots earlier?
Still, the rain has suddenly stopped, and the currents have calmed significantly.
This, too, must be the power of the shepherd.
I always thought it was just a fairy tale. To think I'd see the friggin' shepherd with my own eyes.
Hey! Watch your language in front of the shepherd.
It looked to me like the shepherd just cut right through the water spout. I doubt anyone will believe me, though.
Who cares? I'd rather believe in the miracles of the shepherd. Friggin' water spirit can kiss my hairy butt.
Hey, what happened to watching your language?
So there are still people here who believe. Well, you did help me get back to my old self.
Then can you help?
I shall become the lord of the land for the domain of Lady Lake.
Thank you, Uno.
And you must be the Prime Lord? You've picked a fine shepherd.
I agree.
Let's go. Father Brunor is waiting for us.
So yet again, a nobleman is spying upon our progress. However, I'm going to have to end here for now. So let's save here. And I think tomorrow we'll pick up and see what we could do about Lady Lake itself. So unfortunately we ran out of time, but I'm thinking starting tomorrow's session, I think what I want to do is basically talk about a little bit about what the game could have done to improve what we had just seen. I think today's little thing is going to have to be a bit shorter, but I think we'll have a more formal talk at the end of some of the sessions. The easy ones that come to mind is there is absolutely no reason for them to repeat tutorials at all. So that's just a really easy thing they could fix. We saw some issues with the camera, which I think they did actually resolve in Zestiria, so I think the approach they did in Zestiria there is okay. But overall, like, I think this session in terms of plot, I think was okay. I don't think there was anything too egregious other than obviously the huge amount of tutorials. That was just terrible. But yeah, I think we're getting introduced to some mechanics and they're okay. I feel like, again, the holding R2 mid-combo is just really inconsistent, and I'm glad they just got rid of that mechanic altogether in the later games. Because it just doesn't work in this game. I don't know how else to phrase it. I don't know if it's like you have to hit with a certain part of the third move for it to count, or like if the enemy is airborne and you then press something while still holding it, doesn't always take it. It just feels weirdly inconsistent for a button you hold down. Meanwhile, like, you compare that to how smooth it is when you're playing, like, or you've witnessed the gameplay of Aizen in Zestiria as an example, where he just teleports automatically mid-combo. Like, just compare how smooth and easy that seemed. It just doesn't make any sense. So for now, we're going to have to leave the story where we are, and hopefully I will see you again next time.